It's time for a new set of season champs. PVISION have been incredibly consistent, and this is the best shot for them to surpass their third place at last year's TI. But Avery, when it comes to consistency, nobody beats Yandex of this year. Since October, Yandex have had a podium finish at every event they've attended, barring an errant PG of Wallachia. 9 tournaments of top 3. Now's their chance to lock in yet another Grand Finals appearance.
And that is why this feels like a Grand Final in some sense. These are the two teams everyone has said are going to make it there, and they only have each other in the way. And there is a first blood to get this series off on the boy Satanic, the young gun.
Great way to be able to start things, getting that early gold boost for DM.
Oh, yeah.
We're still going to have a bit of a bounty split because we've seen these Darkseers have some issues in these lanes, but I feel like this is a lane that you can actually do perfectly fine in.
The synergy's not great with Mirana. Let's be realistic there. This is a lane you're just eventually going to try and get to the Dom. You can do some creep cutting, you can do some jungling, but it's not a high pressure lane. Satanic is going to free farm down here pretty much no matter what happens. So that gold injection for DM is going to push him towards a fast helm, and that's a huge deal. Could free up the Mirana to roam a little bit earlier. Maybe you go in towards that mid lane. Maybe you go top. Those are the two lanes that I can see going Yandex's way in this early game. If the TA and the Slardar get off to a fast start, it almost doesn't really matter what happens in this off lane. It's going to bring the draft together. You're going to be able to pressure objectives super early. You're going to have a lot of physical burst damage before the armor, before the Lotus Orbs come online. That's where this lineup can get out of control. I think we should have seen more TA over the course of this tournament. I'm kind of excited to see what Watson can do on it here, because I don't think this hero's broken by any means. I don't think it's the strongest state it's been in compared to some of the previous patches. But some of these games, it sneaks through the draft. Like, people later pick these pucks or some of these melee heroes that get abused by the trap cutting. And you're like, man, it looks like a great TA game. I think this is a solid TA game. It's not absolutely free, not S tier, but Watson is a master on this hero, and he has a lot to play with here. So hopefully he can make it shine.
Well, we'll see how he gets through the lanes, though, because this is a bit of a tough lane. You've got a lot of ways to burn through a refraction between these two heroes. Underlord is just a natural melee hero bully. And Tusk, I don't think, is going to be a lane-dominant 5 position up against these two heroes. There's not much he can really do, I feel like.
And if PVISION punished one hero in this game, I feel it's this Tusk. Like, this is going to be a rough one for Malady. If they're snowballing this game, yeah, it'll look good. But otherwise, you're going to have to play into the pits, AoE Avalanche, a Chains, a Bramble, a Terrorize. The Bushwhack is another AoE stun. Like, there's so much AoE control for you to go in next to your heroes in this game and have impact as a Tusk. It almost looks impossible to ever get a snowball save off in the late game unless you have BKB on top of it. So this is another reason why I think if you're Yandex, you want to get ahead in this game. Because if you're behind and you have to play defensive fights and rely on your 2 supports to kind of bail you out, I don't think it's possible. There's too many follow-up stuns. There's going to be a global AoE pit. Like, you just can't disengage from these fights. So you either have to rely on a very strong BKB timing or just kind of gain an edge and never let go of it and abuse fast Roshans.
And you certainly have a very low cooldown lineup that if they can get ahead, they can kind of just keep us with non-stop action. Good snowball there from Malady. Got away from what I assume was a pit right on TA's head.
That pit Bramble Blood Grenade, he looked like he was going to take a lot of damage. Gets bailed out very nicely here. Chainmail already online for this Underlord, though. A lot of early armor investment. I like it against this pure physical lane. It's going to pay off very nicely here. And I think this game is going to come down to these two offlaners. Maybe this series. These two offlaners have had some crazy games over their runs in EWC here, and these teams are relying on them to help control the map. That's the biggest thing that I think they share in terms of similarities. They both play these Darkseers, Centaur, Underlord archetype heroes. Maybe Enigma will come out in this series because they're pushing waves constantly. They're being really annoying with the Dom creeps. They're giving their teams a lot of information and map control to play off of. That also gives them a lot of farm to make their impact felt in the team fight itself. There's going to be a lot of overlap in this offlane hero pool in this series. And it might come down to who gets, like, you know, that extra 1 wave to hit their item a little faster and can join that team fight or make that play ahead of the other here. I almost never expect Centaur to go through here. It's just been too powerful for these two teams.
What do you make of this Darkseer lane? Because he's matched up against a melee hero. We've seen many of the range matchups the Darkseer suffers in lane. But at the same time, it feels like there is almost no value to the wall in this game.
Pretty terrible wall game. You know, you're using it as the slow and chaos in the fight rather than any illusion hero. Tiny is very good against Darkseer for a lot of these reasons. Hard hero to burn out with shells. The wall's not really effective against his right click. Surge is not that great against Avalanche Toss. So you do have a lot going for you. You do get a nice courier snipe with some boots on it. That's some value.
And start pulling the waves, which Hoodwink not going to be the best at being able to stop that. DM does lose the aggro there for a second. And this is going to be soon the time where Sox is going to be freed up to make rotation where he wants. His arrows have not been finding the mark in the bottom lane so far. Maybe a bit of a warm-up for him.
He's just trying to secure this helm for DM before he leaves entirely. Thought he might have left earlier just because you got that early first blood injection. Like maybe DM dies if you leave him, but if you can make something happen on the other lanes, it probably feels a bit better. As no one, he's about to hit level 6 for free on this Ember against a Slardar, and no pressure went into him at all to get here. So he's very happy with this situation, even getting aggressive himself.
Yeah, the pressure going the other way. Cheer Jr. getting very low. Magic Wand keeps him alive for now. Now popping a fairy tower shot. It's no one who now has to pop his Magic Wand to stay up and at him.
That'll guarantee his level 6 here, though. No support TPs into that mid lane. Still holding on to it. In fact, they are looking bottom. Trying to snag a quick kill on the squirrel here.
See if we can land the arrow. Tukalis just going to die to the right clicks here, but the Mirana, maybe similarly. In fact, Tukalis is not dead yet. DM, the snowball, it'll finish him off. And now the DM is joined in. The Ion Shell is going to force PVISION away as much as they can.
Up to level 3 on that Ion Shell, so you got to be careful on support. Satanic, he's a beefy boy, but you don't want to start chain feeding into this Darkseer lane. Looking for that Underlord 6, looking for the Ember 6. That's where you have a lot more map mobility to respond to some of these aggressive plays from Yandex, and that's always going to be a concern. You want to get aggressive with this lineup. You have a lot of dive potential. Slardar, Darkseer, TA, these are all heroes that naturally dive really well. But when you commit to that dive, there's a lot of turnaround you have to play into. It's a very strong defensive lineup across the map. Underlord can always pose you problems when you're trying to get aggressive into one of the other lanes. So you really have to keep the mobility in mind, you have to keep the resource management in mind and pick your opportunities well here if you're a Yandex. Going into the Underlord solves a little bit of that.
Two supports rotating in because Watson needs the help here. Too many creeps are dying under tower, and he can't hit any of them for fear of being caught by just a single disable into the Firestorm might be the death of him. Meanwhile, 7-minute Wisdom Shrines are coming up, and it does look like no one is a bit more free to rotate if he wants, but he has opted not to. So we're just going to have a split. No early aggression from either side, making an invasion or anything like that.
PVISION way happier with just static lanes that the Ember's doing fine and the Underlord's doing fine, because there's not ever going to be pressure going into this Tiny. And meanwhile, there's a decent amount going into that Templar Assassin.
Man, this Slardar keeps on getting low, trying to hit him with the Remnant, but a beautiful arrow stops that.
It's all defense, though.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this Underlord's denies right now. He bodied the TA up here. Watson didn't really go jungle early. He didn't do extra stacks, so you're looking at, what, 22 denies on notice? His TA is down that net worth chart for a reason.
Malady looking for the snowball out of here. And he'll get it on the creep way. Will he get far enough away, though? He's still going to be inside the pit, and they'll run him down. Malady just desperately trying to get even a single CS, but that just ends up yet another deny for notice. 23 denies.
Complete lane control. He's going to be a beast in this game. He's a big problem here over Yandex in the team fight, especially the supports. Even the Slardar kind of suffers. You need BKBs, or you need to get to a point where you just overwhelm his armor entirely, which, again, when you're behind, it becomes harder to do. He can have a fast Lotus Orb. There could be creeps in this lineup. Dispels are going to be great for both teams in this game.
Arrow does land. He's got a regen rune in the pocket, though. They need an overwhelming amount of damage to kill him, and he's able to jump away to his Remnant. Still, though, they can chase after the supports, maybe get one kill here. Here comes the Underlord, though. Through the gate, or maybe not. Actually gets gone on by Malady and Watson. They're trying to stop him right now. Hit him with the snowball once. Now he's trying to get through the gate and get away from them. Dies all the same.
Nice pickup for them. That's such a big boon for Watson, who was otherwise losing this lane considerably. Needed the experience as well. Can always go into the jungle or do stacks as a TA, but right now Darkseer's kind of taking your triangle, so you just have to exist up here for a little more time, get a couple more levels, and then you're smooth sailing.
Yeah, those traps really help secure the lane a lot more, whether you are seeing the rotations from supports or just the slow helping you disengage from some aggression. And it's DM who has quietly overtook the Tiny and the Underlord in net worth. Trying to battle it out with this Helmet Dom creep. Point blank arrow. Centaur getting in front of him. It's going to be killed, but the damage is done. Satanic will be run down. So nice rotation back through the gate. It really felt like Yandex was struggling there in the first 6 or 7 minutes of this laning phase. But now that the rotations, it almost feels like they're outmaneuvering PVISION.
I think their rotation power is stronger here in the early game. That's kind of why I wanted to see the Mirana leave earlier. But Soxa, he made the right call. This Darkseer is mega fat. He found some clutch kills with this Mirana. Now he has 2 urn charges, still has a blood grenade. So Mirana's pretty strong on the map in terms of that roaming power right now.
And it's going to be quite a difference of map control, too, because DM is slowly going to chip away at this bottom tower.
They're going to bring the Underlord mid to try and fight this rune. Big investment.
Terrorize on 2 underneath the pit with the brambles out. That'll easily kill Cheer Jr. and run down the Mirana as well. So PVISION, a heavy investment of heroes into the mid lane, but it does pay off.
Absolutely. The second you get caught in any of these little routes, you're going to get chains done forever. There's just no way to take advantage of mobility in this game as Yandex until you have, I want to say either BKB or like multiple dispels, like maybe Greaves plus Lotus Darkseer or something can bail you out of that kind of situation if you're a Slardar, but this is a lot of gold to get to. So in the early game, you have to be wary of just getting caught. Trying to get aggressive with another Bedlam, low cooldown.
It's going to end up in the Bramble, pulled in by the Bushwhack. No one's not going to keep it up, though. Yeah, the same reason it's a terrible Tusk game, it also makes it a pretty rough Slardar game, right? 2 heroes that are very dependent on their mobility, hate the lockdowns that PVISION is going to be thrown their way. So it's going to be a rough ride for those 2 until BKB, or at least BKB for Slardar. We'll see if Malady ever gets a BKB of its own.
I like PVISION's odds in a lot of the fights until those big items come out. Then this game will change a lot. But until then, they have spell advantage. The more they can force some skirmishes, particularly through this Ember, the more pain they're going to inflict on some of these heroes that just can't get out of the chain stun.
I do think that's because they have a Templar Assassin and a Slardar. Obviously, Roshan is a big advantage for Yandex when they hit that BKB timing and feel confident about their team fights. I do wonder if PVISION will have the chance to take a Rosh themselves before the BKBs come online.
Maybe
their lineup is not very good at doing it.
No, this is not a Roshan priority lineup. It kind of requires everybody in that pit to bring it down at an efficient rate. And that's kind of Satanic's call if he wants to do something like that with his
like
time.
Chains, vacuum, but DM.
Nice pickoff.
Surrounded, and the gate makes things a lot more efficient.
Straight back into mid.
Yeah, mid lane, they're going to run down Malady. Moonlight Shadow, do they have detection for it? Yeah, they got him.
It takes a while to die. Can you get anything in return here?
Slardar wants to take this fight, but he's still outnumbered.
Yeah, nobody's around.
Arrow is coming through, but as soon as that's dodged, then there goes your entire support. Cheer Jr. managed to weave his way through the brambles, but another round of slight chains. And finally, damage ticks in. Underlord, TP away. Oh, that was a close call, but Notice makes it out and completes his Rod of Atos in the process. So now the catch is really beginning to amp up for PVISION.
This Slardar is so far away from being able to survive or have impact in these situations. The Vessel is done here for no one. Him getting the last hits on those kills, that is exactly who you want, powering up to the first fighting item here. Yandex in a little trouble across the map. Too much mobility for them to deal with right now and not enough counter thread. This TA is just not powered up yet. You're still looking for that Deso. You're still looking for the blink on the Slardar. Then this threat will come together. You can kind of play through Moonlight Shadow and try and pick someone off, or, you know, threaten Satanic down here. He can die once those armor items are online. But he has sat down here forever. You want to deny the tower? No, he wants to leave it up. Bait someone in for it. We saw the power of these tier 1s in our series yesterday.
No doubt.
It is a really nice objective to play around for as long as you can keep it up, though. 9 HP, I mean, surely.
Well,
there's a limit, right?
At the same time, yeah, okay, he's finally going to deny it. DM just keeps on kind of throwing Helmet Dom creeps down the lane, thinking eventually he's going to get that tower. So maybe he's not baiting on hero kills, but he is baiting in some valuable stuff anyway.
Look at that. They double scan down here and both hit. As PVISION making their way for this Wisdom Shrine from multiple angles.
And it does mean it's going to be double Wisdom for PVISION.
just ahead on the little timings here. And again, their spell power is stronger right now, so even if the item timings are the same, you're still advantaged in these fights. You just can't get impact out of your Tusk Marana here.
Yeah. Yandex say they clearly knew that was coming. They made the read, they made the scans. I think they made the overall call, we shouldn't fight right now. We need to get our first round of items, which there's the Deso, there's the Blink Dagger on Slardar. Now it's coming together. You still kind of want BKBs, but you can make, you know, one or two boots, right?
You can get pickoffs now. You can threaten some of these cores pushing the lane, particularly the Underlord. If he gets too aggressive top, you're going to go there and slay him. The Ember mid might be a tough grab. You'd have to chain stun him with an arrow, likely to threaten no one here. It's kind of same with the Tiny, who, by the way, is about to have a full Shadow Blade.
They're going to go for the Underlord, but it's not in a deep lane position. It's in PVISION's triangle.
That's a lot more
Which is
difficult.
a tough area to fight, and the reinforcements are already there. Satanic TP to the off-lane tower, cut him off from behind. Now Malady, who was looking to join those two in their smoke play, well, now he gets caught as well. It was just overly aggressive move.
Yeah, I was going to say, Roche just walking by, but no, he'll give no one a little toss there.
Love tap.
That feels like a forced play. Like, we have Slardar Blink, we need to do something with it.
Yeah.
That's not the area that the TA can connect to unless you're already running there.
Ooh, arrow slips on by because Arquillo popped and just decided to turn around. Fight the two of them, hits the Terrorize. Ooh, but gets one shot by the Meld hit. So that's going to be your first bit of charges here. The Slardar is back up into play, and again, low cooldowns on these heroes. So even when you do kill Yandex, they're back up in 30 seconds and in fighting shape.
Fast response, and that response was important. One, you needed to stem the bleeding here, but two, that was the Shadow Blade Tiny running in there, ready to join that engagement. It just didn't get set up properly, so you don't get value out of that reveal. You don't get to snipe the TA or something crazy like that. Just back to farming for Satanic. Did not like what he saw there. Try and re-engage.
So both teams have shown that they can defend their own side of the map. Neither team has shown that they can really offensively, you know, get in there.
Which makes sense if you look at these two lineups. Like, there's a lot of turnaround. There's a lot of annoying spells to run into. You're doing it blind especially. And just not fun spells to face tank.
Yeah.
So that was Deso charges for the TA.
Yeah, that was fast. He picked up Deso, got a kill, and now has Blink.
He'll be highest net worth here. It's kind of inevitable. Come down to those Roshans. You can start accelerating these objectives. Or killing more Dom creeps. It's number 4, number 5, I don't know. He is propelling DM to a fast Lotus here, which I like. You got to get some multiple dispels. I could be curious if he was going to go Greaves. We just don't see this item a lot. This is a pretty good Greaves game, but he just went the treads. Wants to keep the farm rate up, be a little tankier. Rely on the Lotus Orb to bail some of his boys out.
What do you think of Malady buying out his Shard? Tusk Shard is not one that I think of as, you know, willing to buy. Caught him on the Shadow Blade, and with the Bedlam, they burn through that Refraction really quickly. Avalanche Bedlam, Refraction goes down, and an exposed Watson dies.
That was a smoke bypassing multiple wards that catches Watson off guard. Big connection for this Tiny. Not only do you get his Shadow Blade involved, you take down the farm accelerator here on the side of Yandex.
Pit, Rod, back into the pit. Malady trying to get off a snowball here, but now he's been chained into another pit. 10 seconds of entangle, and now Jiro Jr. is going to walk into a bramble as well. Now he does get the clear here from DM, turnaround vacuum wall, but not much damage behind it with the Slardar already dead. The Templar Assassin reviving in 5 seconds. Nothing behind it. PVISION playing faster and faster, and Yandex are struggling to keep up.
The threat of this Tiny on the map, we've seen it time and time again. If you let this hero have a free game and he can just start picking people off, the map closes in real fast. And this is, you talked about this Tusk Shard. I'm not sure this would have been my first investment because like, there's so many roots in this game. And you're just getting pitted, chained, brambled. You don't have an opportunity to do anything with this Shard. You have to kind of preemptively use it and start the fights on your terms, but so far it's all aggression for PVISION.
Yeah, Lotus Orbs are going to be very helpful. DM, he does not go the full helm of Overlord, but picks up a faster Lotus. I guess another thought would be that him buying a Shard also means that, you know, maybe one of his cores gets the Shard
For
if
sure.
they take the Tormentor.
He talked about that in an interview.
Right.
He likes buying it to essentially contribute net worth to one of his other bigger heroes.
That makes sense, I feel like, if you know that you're winning the game at 20 minutes. But that is certainly not the case. In this setup, it feels like PVISION are far more likely to be taking this tournament.
We'll see who gets it. Might pay off if they can secure the objective. This is a lineup that wants to take it, for sure. They might just smoke down there and prioritize it, even from the dire side. Another pick off to the tiny. The map is shrinking right now.
And Satanic's getting more and more aggro. The Shadowplate Harpoon, now a Silver Edge to be finished.
Another Dom creep as well. You just have to get BKBs at some point in this game. That's what it's starting to feel like. It's just too much spell power. The Ags is already done for notice.
Dude, look at Shiro Jr.'s net worth. He's 3,000 behind the Ember Spirit. Like, when is he going to get a BKB? He is lucky to get out alive here, as the gate comes in a little bit late.
You have to win team fights and big objectives for him to eventually get there. There's just not enough space for the starter to farm anything right now. You have to start looking for some kills.
Well, if they wanted to, they could make a play for that Tormentor right now.
Gate's on cooldown. It's a big spell.
No gate. PVISION mostly playing middle and top.
They're collapsing towards mid.
What a different kind of objective here. PVISION are going to make a smoke of their own. It's going to break. Managed to get the initiate push up, but the Shadow Realm already went off, and Shiro Jr. has no BKB to defend himself. To give him the Lotus, though, and maybe he can get out. The Ember Spirit's going to pursue. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin has to keep his distance up against this Underlord, but an Ember Spirit jumps right on top of them. Watson's getting low. A Firestorm on top of him has to be picked up by the Snowball. It's his only chance to survive here. Watson, though, there's just too many disables. PVISION, they own this area. They own every part of the map that all 5 can be there.
That fight can maybe go their way if they all jump the same target together and they get the TA in there. But the second that Pit Firestorm caught the 2 of them on the high ground, the fight's disjointed. You can't single target focus anybody down, and now you're just stuck in roots for days. It's just miserable. I guess Tusk Shard pulled Watson out of it a little bit, and then he gets snowballed. Like, you're actually dodging a decent amount of the roots, but it's just overwhelming.
Still more.
Yeah, everybody has something. That's an Arcane Rune Ember on top of it. Avalanche is a disgusting spell. It's just too much to deal with right now. That was a risky fight to take. You paid a big price.
They also bought yet another shard. This time on the Dark Seer. I think this one is very good for split pushing at times, and I can see how it's helpful, but I also feel like you're very much under the gun, right? You need to get to this 35-minute timing where you have these BKBs, ways to get rid of these. It's weird that they feel like the shard is worthwhile when you got to get to these other items.
Because otherwise something like this happens, and there's just no way out.
Yeah, he's just stuck. Nobody has any Force Staffs. Nobody has a Lotus Orb in that situation, as DM is bottom lane right now, trying to get to Blink.
Have to find a way to create more map pressure without getting picked off, or win the fights. You're running out of options here as Yandex, as Underlord is just going to control this game. Every time that global pit is available, it's going to result in a big kill here. Don't have the core items to escape from it.
Unfortunately, the Darkseer can put pressure on the map without showing his hero, thanks to the Helmadom creep. That is the one way you can combat this Underlord.
He's doing a decent job. He's constantly forcing somebody back bottom. Fortunately for PVISION, they have very mobile heroes. Like, you can run the Ember down here, chase him out a little bit, and still connect to some play top if you really play it well.
Right.
It's not as if you have to fully respond to the Darkseer pressure in this game, and there he goes, right? He chases him out bottom, instantly back top. You still have your threat up here. Yandex going to try and take advantage of that.
Gotta get a kill for Shiro Jr., but they run into a Sentry that was gonna hang out here pretty soon.
Did you even have the damage on that play? It's gonna be close.
Sentry also spotted both Satanic and Malady in their confrontation.
Warning game is really important for these pickoffs leading to the objectives. It's all going to start with the vision. That's where you can maybe rely on some of these TA traps to give you a little extra boost. They're not getting killed right now. No gem on the side of PVISION. This could be a game where they pick one up very soon just to try and eliminate the extra pickoff threat that would snowball into something like a Roshan. Shiro Jr. still hunting down here.
Saksa almost has a Force Staff, so they will have a little bit of extra help. Problem is, Force Staff only gets you out of one of these pits, which with the Ags, he's got multiple pits to be throwing in, not to mention the Rod of Eight Toes, Slight Chains, etc. The A big move from PVISION. This could be where they take over all the objectives. If they get the right kind of pick off here, running into Watson would be perfect, and they managed to get the avalanche on him. He's caught, pulled away by the Tusk, sure, but it doesn't take you far enough out.
You're better just leaving him there. There's, again, so much AoE control in this lineup. There's just no way the Tusk is going to bail you out of these situations.
Again, the shard is like, okay, it doesn't actually get you fully out, and it only pulls the Tusk into danger.
At least you get to hold hands as you both die.
That's true. And Satanic playing a carry Tiny. When you've got this kind of control, he's going to be banging down objectives. The top tier 2 is almost dead. He takes down the bottom tier 1.
I also love the 9-class blink here, because I think Dark Willow's a hero that, like, early items don't really mean as much as you being able to have presence around the map, get that extra wave and not die. And we talked about how important it is to have unkillable supports in this meta right now. Your support duo that scales in a way where it's so obnoxious to kill them as a core, it almost becomes futile. Dark Willow can take advantage of this blink with the Shadow Realm. She can push that extra wave and blink out if you try and blink on her. Like, it gives you a lot of survivability in this game that's very annoying for these heroes that want to blink in and stun you.
Zoxa's gonna get one shot, avalanche toss.
And it's not the same on the other side.
He's not able to split push. DM able to get rid of the Cursed Crown. He's gonna show on the map. Nope, blinks up. And because there's no gate for another 15 seconds, he is able to get away.
And I think we've also seen this development on supports over the course of this event, and maybe like the previous 1 or 2 just meta-wise. We're seeing a lot more earlier blinks, not as an initiation tool, but as a, I'm going to rat the map or set myself up somewhere that's really annoying and have that escape mechanism. Like, it's a weird development of the item that I don't think we've really seen as consistently before in Dota. And the heroes that can take advantage of it tend to be more popular. I think Hoodwink's another great example. Like, we've seen a lot of early blink Hoodwink, where you're just playing off of, I have extra reach for the stun, I have extra mobility across the map, I can get that one extra wave and get out. There's no chance you catch me, or I get that extra snag in a fight. It's very high skill. It pays off when you can land it, and especially if you're the aggressor in the team fights.
And no one perfectly placed, though. They are going to get the initiation on him anyway. I thought this was going to be another situation where he breaks a smoke and he gets away, but they managed to get the initiation on.
Big hits.
Shot came through, vacuum onto Satanic, slowing him down, but they still managed to get a toss on the illusion to kill Malady. Cheer Jr. wants to keep this going, actually pushing Notice back into the team as best he can, but it's not good enough. Malady, Watson can't really go into this.
No chance.
You see him playing off of hitting the traps and trying to get the side blade damage, but he can't actually blink into them and go for that Underlord kill.
No, there's no way you want to commit in there. Until you have BKB, you're just going to get disabled for days. There's already an Assault Cuirass on Satanic, by the way.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to respect the armor in this lineup. And this Ember almost lives. He has an Illusion Rune in the bottom. No one is very close to getting out of this situation. And great execution.
Yeah, I mean, if he has the Shiva stun, I think he does live there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And they're going to have the triple armor item. They're going to have AC, they're going to have Shivas, they have Lotus. So this was one of your better chances to take a fight if you were Yandex when it comes to the offensive damage. Maybe they can still take another one when they have their BKBs, but for now they're going to get picked off around the map as an attempt to do something about Roshan is denied.
That's a big Roche to gain here for PVISION. Feels more influential to take it away from this Yandex lineup than what you even need it for. Like, I don't think Tiny needs an Aegis this game, let's be honest.
No.
I think he can use it well, but just denying this from the TA, it makes it so much harder for Watson to play the fights. He's kind of relying on getting a second life here at some point to be able to go in. There's a real risk, even with the BKB now, when you go in, you pop BKB, if you get kited a little bit, if those big stuns don't land when you're there to deal the damage, and that BKB starts to wear out, that fight does not look so great over the long run.
Yeah.
They do at least get Tormentor, and they get a Mirana shard, so all the shard buying didn't really pay off here in the long run, for that at least.
I mean, I'm not a TA player, so I don't know how influential the Templar Assassin shard is. I guess your Refraction can be cast while disabled. It's actually potentially important when you're getting Tiny Shadow Blade initiated.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, it's good against Tiny, and this is supposed to be a decent matchup for TA in terms of playing the map. But a lot of the disables in this game, like casting the Refraction while you're in the pit or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Satanic's threat continues to grow 9-2 and 7. This hero looks unstoppable in the right hands this event.
Yandex are just getting more and more desperate to rat out the map, leading to more and more pickoffs. They can feel it, the map just closing in around them. PVISION, thanks to the fact they've got a Shadow Blade, they've got an Underlord with this global presence, combined with an Ember Spirit with global catch as well.
But there's the 2 BKBs for Yandex. TA and Sard are both online. This means you can full commit in the fight and try and take down that big juicy target that you want to at the start. Into Aegis, it looks a lot more difficult.
Yeah, the question is, like, are they going to have the damage, right? They have the defensive capabilities to allow them to push through these disables, and that's a very strong timing. But because they're ahead, are PVISION now too tanky against the physical damage?
It looks like that. There's just so much armor in this lineup already.
It's 41 armor on Tiny right now. Like, Corrosive Haze only takes away so much, you know? And if Satanic spots him, 2 minutes to get the leap away, but Satanic just follows him through with the flank. Now the pullback on the Harpoon. Cheer Jr. doesn't want to have to use BKB here. They snowball, try and dodge the Cursed Crown, and slip back inside the base. Malady with the Lotus. Nope, he's stuck in the rot. Now, Avalanche, and he's dead. Man, these heroes just cannot get away no matter what Sledgehammer's going to be used. And they're going to either force the BKBs or they're going to kill you at this point. Cheer Jr. pops the BKB and makes a run for the fountain. That is not what you wanted to see out of your first usage of both the Templar and the Slordar. They didn't even go on a hero, really. Sure, they got the Dark Willow, but they haven't threatened a core at all. And they're immediately going to smoke and make a play for this, which is a bold move considering the BKBs are on cooldown. They're trying for the Tiny here.
Massive
hit that catches all these heroes and Avalanche over the top. Nice little snowball dodge, but here comes another pit, holding back 3 heroes. They turn back to Malady. The easy kill for now.
They can't do anything here.
They pull in Watson. Watson stuck in all these pits, and this looks impossible.
Nah, there's no shot. You can't focus anybody. You use your BKBs.
They're out. They tap it early.
Domination here. Another 30-minute against Ember right now. Okay. In terms of hit or miss. It either flops real bad or it succeeds to such a large margin you can just 1v5 the game. This is a great Monkey King game outside of that lane too, though. He has a good matchup against Furion. He has pretty good matchups against the other just like low damage bodies in this game. You know, it's like Ogre Coddle you can get on top of. Beast can sometimes be annoying with Boars, but I think in a game like this where there's no removal for Jingu, like, you should be really confident just going in playing aggressive with your 2 supports. You have 2 really aggressive supports to help you snowball this game, gank mid, put a lot of pressure through this mid lane, just snowball the map. That is a very scary thing for this PVISION lineup to deal with because Ogre is not the best at early fighting anymore. You're kind of picking him for the scale with the Bloodlust, a bit of a body later on, but he's not going to stop this Yandex support to running the map. So a lot of explosive potential coming through these 3 heroes out of that mid lane. That is what you want to see from this Yandex lineup, and if they can execute that, I agree that there is not a lot that stops it just running the map over. Like, you don't have heroes that can trade well with the Monkey King without any sort of Jingu purge. So it looks pretty solid in that sense. It's going to come down to a lot of execution here. How much can Chira Jr. get out of this mid lane in the early stages, and how much of those support rotations come through?
Getting the early advantage, Satanic using the Treants very well, managed to deny one of the bounty runes, so it is a 2-1 split. Very nice. They actually hear that one. We're going to start off with a early bit of action here as Watson going to be ganked from behind by 9 classes. They're trying to body block him as much as they can. It's not going to work out, though, and now the turnaround raises are a bit of a threat.
Free Enchantress game, like that is for sure. Malady can do a lot of damage here in the first 10 minutes. It is still basically the most powerful early game support if the game goes in your favor. And you can get to some fast level 3 and 5. You're just an absolute beast on the map. Huge threat wherever Malady goes.
So potentially really free Monkey game, potentially a free Enchantress game. I mean, this sounds like Yandex are very well set up for at least the first 20 minutes.
They should be, and they should be confident in that. SF's a great hero you can roam to. The Kunkka's maybe like a little odd piece out. I don't know if he has that much early aggression to synergize with this lineup, but it is a hero that DM's super comfortable with. Maybe if you get a fast boat up, like maybe you can get that cheeky kill. It's a solid Kunkka game.
It's a hero that sets up, like if other heroes are having a good game, he sets them up very well.
For sure.
Right?
He can give you a lot of sustain, a lot of extra teamfight power, and he's a very tanky body himself, which My biggest concern with the PVISION lineup is getting to that point where the damage comes online. If they can scale their cores up, get some big damage items, and bloodlust everybody, it's going to be insane. You got to get over that threshold a little bit, otherwise this Porte is not giving you that extra oomph. You have some nice sustain from the Coddle, a little bit of DPS. Ogre's pretty low damage. It's all about the cores here, in my opinion.
How do you deal with this off-lane duel of Coddle Beastmaster? We've seen this before earlier in the tournament. It just ruins many a safe lane here. Maybe DM's in trouble, actually. Blocked in by the Sprout. He eats through, but it's too late for that. First blood goes to Satanic. They just win the lane straight up. They don't even get the first blood off of early teleport.
All right, they put Treants on him. Level 1 Bloodlust and just straight beat his ass. There's no way around it. Rough start to that lane. Treants are just so strong now.
Yeah.
Unless you have like some way to steal them or instant give them, which doesn't really exist on too many heroes. The Coddle Beast should be strong up here in terms of pushing the wave out. If you don't feed that early kill to the Enchantress, you can look for it with the level 3, but otherwise you're probably looking for the roam. Best thing you can do against it is block camps. Don't let the stacking go out on that triangle. They already blocked the big camp with a sentry. There's only this ancient camp. If you keep the lane pressure high, you should punish this Coddle every time he leaves the lane. So I like the deep lane ward. That's why this exists up here. You want to see where 9 class goes. If he leaves the lane to go stack, and one of those camps is already blocked, instantly you're going on the Beastmaster. You have the all-in potential with the raises. So very heads-up early warding game should set you up to punish this lane. All those little things come into play.
Well, so far, he hasn't really thought about leaving lane at all, just charging this Beastmaster up for Wild Axis spam over and over and over again at the SF. It's beginning to build up. Malady has the heal, so he can take away the boars. He can help keep the SF topped up against this constant spam.
I'd like to see them go for the Beast kill here. They have level 2 and enchant coming back up. You have raises. You have Lotus double Fairy Fire on Watson. He's not as low as he looks. I don't think you want to sit up here and let Notice continue to get chip damage on you. You want to make these big trades that are in your favor and then make some moves elsewhere if you can.
Well, this time we got a bug inside of the game.
Well, that's the monkey king. I mean, that's the classic.
Of course.
Bug, so.
And Chiro Jr. is doing very well for himself. He's currently sitting at a CS of 23 and 12.
Very nice.
Lots of denies. I mean, we saw in game 1 a heavy laning phase lead for PVISION, largely off the Underlord and the amount of denies he got there. But Chiro Jr. is
putting in work.
He's putting in the work.
And that's what you want to see out of this last pick. He has the early boots. He has a deny advantage, which turns into a level advantage here. Will easily outpace no one to that level 6 territory. So you're going to have a nice window to punish this Ember before he has the Remnant online. And you really have to keep a check on these supports in this game. Either support going to mid is a kill on this Ember if you can get the Jingo up, which is pretty reliable against this hero.
Yeah. Especially with the early Orb of Frost that he's been using to keep the Ember Spirit in range to get those stacks. Double Bracer build up for DM.
Getting a little tankier down here. Need to get these side laners as independent as fast as possible if you are Yandex. That is the MO here. The sooner that Watson and DM can stand on their own, then you can get that roam going, play to the monkey, happier you're going to be. Alternative is you bring monkey to one of these side lanes, but I just think giving Ember that kind of freedom when you counterpick this matchup, it's not as efficient. It doesn't feel as good. It's a viable option, for sure. But I guarantee you every monkey king in this matchup is like, I want to kill this guy. I want to smack his face. I want to force enemy supports to try and bail out this Ember Spirit and join a bad engagement.
Right.
That is ideal if you can line it up.
Chiro Jr., I'm watching him. When it comes to the CS, he's prioritizing denies. He really wants to keep no one down in experience, first and foremost.
He's a full level ahead. It's working out right now. Doesn't need the water runes either, so don't really care about rotating for those. It's all about the kill attempt. Catapults online. This is an option to look for.
Yeah, where's the Enchantress move to take advantage of this this catapult? Where's the hoodwink to try and go for the kill?
Prioritizing side laner morale right now.
That's fair enough, but this Beastmaster is so annoying for SF to deal with. They're actually going to rotate Soxa in. He's going to wrap around. Soxa is going to be spotted here by 9 class. Could still hit the bushwhack. Lands it on Notice. One raise lands, but Tikal is coming in from back, and now they've got the 4th hero coming in. It's Satanic with the teleport. Watson's going to die. Gets as much damage out there as possible before he goes down, but his death was inevitable as soon as the Ogre came in.
I'm not sure I like going to this lane as the index. To me, this is not the point you want to attack. The Furion is going to counterplay that every time. Heads up rotation from Ducalis, though. He's just already there.
Yeah, he read it really early.
Yeah, that was a big difference maker. That's a big blow. Committing supports up here, and you're going to lose.
Still catching Soxa.
Heroes.
The Lotus is not enough to keep him alive. And Malady nor Watson can go for the punish either. Now, we do have the 7-minute Wisdom Shrine with the experience advantage the Monkey King has.
He's rotating over.
We talked about this before, where you could just kind of set up early on this Wisdom.
This is not... I think he can fight all three here, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so, too. In fact, it's more of a question of how many heroes are PVISION going to lose thinking they can take this. Nice ward to place down, too. This is really cool.
PVISION could get baited in here. They don't know the Monkey's already behind this play.
Well, no one is definitely saying Monkey's missing, guys.
For
Monkey
sure.
hasn't been here for a while, but do they know he's already behind them right now? And he's setting up. Malady's going to bait it a little bit. Now the jump in. Chira Jr. trying to get out the Wukong's command. Gets slowed up by the Fire Blast. Let's see if they can get this one kill at least. And they do. The Wisdom Shrine also goes the way of Yandex. So double Wisdoms plus a kill. I think Chira Jr. was hoping that was going to be a bigger splash than it was.
He wanted a little more out of that. That's okay, though. You got what you came for. You got some Jingu to play with. You have another Boundless in 5. You can maybe look for some cheeky kill top. Soxa cleaning up the experience mid. It's going to linger up here.
Gets the slow one to notice. Whoa. Actually stops his boundless strike for a second there. Finally gets it off. Gets the heal required. And he needs that heal. Wukong's command is going to be thrown out. Satanic trying to go for the kill on Watson. Watson and the Monkey King. He does manage to pop the magic wand. And he jumps over to one of his statues. He gets away from the Ember Spirit as no one. He blindly went to one side hoping that he would be able to all in the Monkey King. And it doesn't work for him. The outcome is good for Yandex. As Soxa almost died there to both the Treants and the Boar, but I think he is going to get away.
Big hit from this Wrath of Nature coming through. You have 6 on the Fury, on the SF still 5. You have a little carry advantage, and Satanic makes it work, does pay with this price. Yandex very happy to see this Furion go down. I feel like every time you can kill Satanic, it buys you like 5 minutes in the game. Power of the Monkey King. Even getting disabled here, he didn't get the perfect strike off, but it's just so much big chunk damage coming out from these two, and then Wukong is going to be a problem.
I feel like there was a split of damage, right? No one wants to kill the Monkey while Satanic is hitting the SF. It feels like they could have gotten,
maybe a little bit
a better situation out of that.
It's just awkward with this change in the guard. Like, it makes him a lot harder to bring down in the Wukong in general. So if you overcommit, he gets it off. The fight becomes really weird really quickly.
Right.
I think PVISION are honestly doing pretty well in these fights, though. Again, I don't think these early skirmishes necessarily favor them until you have a lot more support levels here. We also haven't seen the Kunkka really join anything yet. DM just quietly farming bottom. He's going for potentially first item Lotus.
Nice read of situation. Satanic backs out from defending his safe lane tower. Leaves some Treants behind to keep the tower up a bit longer while he farms some neutrals farther away.
It's a wasted move.
Rotation is going to be wasted.
And this is the risk of moving the Monkey to the side lanes instead of having the game flow through mid. Is every time this happens, the Ember gets time to catch up in this game. Whether it's just through jungle and his mid lane is getting absorbed by support, or he gets to farm that out. Will result in a nice little tower down here with the Enchantress Roam. And now this means your next move is to mid, like for sure in this game. You have to, both teams are going to think about it a lot.
Right.
That Enchantress backstab is a very natural sequitur to this bottom lane falling.
And DM has all the levels that he is kind of scaring these fights now. It's maxed out Tidebringer and the Ghost Ship ready to go.
If they get the Kunkka in the middle of the fight, then they're favored for sure.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do sometimes, though, in these pro games. It's just such a clunky hero early on. Especially when you only have 1 point in the X. TPing into these fights with 1 point in X against some of these mobile heroes like Furion, Ember, we're going to kind of choose when they commit. You're just sitting there thinking like, man, if I TP and I don't get anything here.
He opted to teleport to their own safe lane here. He'll take control of that. The SF wants no business playing that side of the map where he's likely to be interfered with by the Ember Spirit. No one has already shown that that's his game plan.
Got his courier. No Jingu, though.
Catch Ducalis. Got to take these heroes out of your own jungle area as best you can.
Gonna trade Malady on the other side, though. And Ducalis is probably fine with that exchange. Like, you're taking Enchantress off the map early for an Ogre? Be my guess.
Yeah.
You're way more useful than me right now.
What do you make of this very early Lotusaur for Kunkka?
That's why I was debating.
It's a good Lotus Orb game. There's no doubt about that. But is it a first item kind of?
It's definitely not going to accelerate your farm or your like presence on the map.
Yeah.
Will be really nice for the Monkey King though. And if you're going to put all of your eggs in the Monkey King basket, you better make sure he has the backup to stick in the fights.
Right.
In that sense, I kind of like it. If you feel like it's going to help Cheer Jr. a lot, it will pay off here.
No deny there. Notice managed to get the last hit off of the boar.
And they lost their mid tower. That's just not what I would expect between these two drafts.
Yeah, with an Enchantress lineup, yeah.
Power of the Beastmaster. Seeing this hero be played kind of old school Beast style. Like just going for this Helm build up into early tower pressure with some nice rotations. Even when you nerf this hero, he has another style.
There's always a way out for Beastmaster, it seems nowadays. Takalis gonna be chased down on his own side of the map this time. Just cannot get that level 6 easy, and it's pushing Cheer Jr. to a faster and faster Deso.
This area of the map should be very difficult for PVISION to access. Against Enchantress Monkey, they can very quickly connect in these areas. If you can ever deward some of the PVISION obs in here, it becomes kind of a death zone. Very scary place to be. But you defended your mid-tier 1, it's full HP. So that is a big tower to play around in this game for the Ember. You can always bring reinforcements into a dive situation. Kind of limits where this Monkey can go.
Oh, I was going to say, Yandex, I feel like they've been waiting. They've been trying to find a big core kill this entire time. All they've got is supports, but killing Satanic. It's going to do a lot for them, but they have to be able to fight their way out, and they got the roar off before the Wukong's command. Really fast rotation from the PVISION cores of Noticed and No One.
Instant TP. With the amp damage on No One, you have enough firepower to turn that around before any sort of Wukong shenanigans come out. Is that worth it? Not really. You're giving so much space to this Ember. He has a full vessel right now. Yeah, you got Satanic again. That's always going to feel nice. But you're losing your big accelerator in this Monkey. His Desolator is getting delayed. The Ember's accelerated. This Ember's about to be higher net worth than your Monkey King in the counter pick situation. This is not what you wanted in terms of that overall game plan. PVISION just playing a little faster in this series. We're not seeing that same sort of momentum build up for Yandex that we saw earlier on, where they were just kind of turning one move into another, gaining momentum. Watson has absolute free farm. There's been pressure kind of going into all of them at different points. Maybe DM has had the most freedom, but he's also on the hero that kind of needs the most levels to get activated here and is probably the most difficult to get involved.
Yeah, he does have the higher levels of X now, so it is a bit easier for him. Smoke on smoke, but it is PVISION once again outnumbering Yandex. And they are just going to head for the hills here. Leave DM behind, keep the two supports alive.
When you have Vessel online.
Ooh, spots a courier. That's a Helm of the Overlord that's going to be taken away. Ooh. Nice pickup there by Soxa. Definitely worth showing on the map.
And you got Wisdom Shrines.
Yeah, very nice.
Honestly, not a bad exchange for Yandex overall.
Pretty good, pretty good.
As Kunkka died in the corner of the map, so you're not really translating it into anything big.
Even better if, like, Malady, not the right creeps for it, but if he can maybe, like, cut some waves in this top lane with the creep.
That'd be super value, yeah. And he finished up the Deso on the Monkey. So both these mid laners have their big damage item now. It's about who gets to use it better. But this is where the Coddle can keep the Ember out on the map and power up that Vessel with the Solar Bind. It becomes pretty nasty in terms of that DPS output. I guess the early Lotus on the Kunkka definitely will help with that too.
Yeah, both lineups feature some interesting damage amp, right? Solar Bind and Axes amplifying versus the minus armor duo of SF and this Deso Monkey King.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Rabble Rouser.
I wasn't thinking about Rabble Rouser.
We weren't thinking about the Rabble Rouser.
DM, defensive torrent keeps him up. And he's just about to complete that Lotus. So now we can deal with that Solar Bind better. Maybe bounce back a Roar on the Beastmaster. That is the one problem, right? They don't have a hard save if Beastmaster gets a good Roar off. Monkey jumping away into the trees. Did they spot him? Oh, I don't think they saw him. They knocked him down. Cheer Jr. has to Wukong's command now to try and defend himself. Jumps to one of the statues, but he doesn't really have a way out here. Slight Chains is taking him down. He jumps to another statue, but the area is surrounded. They spot him on the fire blast and a blood grenade, and finally 9 class with the blast right on through.
He almost got out of there.
Yeah, it was a close call for sure.
Shows you how strong this monkey is, but just completely isolated in a bad part of the map for the rest of the team to get to. I feel like that's been the MO of the series. We just haven't really seen Yandex kind of rally around the core they want to at the right time and make something happen.
Sure.
DM gonna push out this mid. He's not close enough to get caught. And PVISION starting to group up. They have that helm back completed on the Beastmaster off of the Courier Death. You have 3 points in the Bloodlust. You have 4 points in the Chakra Magic. The enabling is here. So whichever core you're running behind with these supports is going to be a beast. Or I guess the Black Dragon will get some enabling here. That is a big Black Dragon.
Yeah, if you've cleared out this area, do you just try and force the...
This is a very dangerous Roche. This is not guaranteed at all.
Against a Monkey King, he doesn't have Wukong's command, so they know that much.
Enchantress also with 4 points heal can just run in front line.
Right.
And it's not an easy target to bring out quickly. You have to commit a Vessel Charge plus Solar Bind, likely some other spells.
Do you think PVISION never intended to do Roshan? They were just trying to pull Yandex into a potential fight?
Probably yes. It's very scary to commit for that Roche without knowing where Yandex are. So
Yandex are playing very defensively. They're not giving that fight just yet, but you know PVISION is going to try and force it anyway. Slight Chains opening on Malady.
Not the guy you want to see.
Certainly not.
They don't commit.
Maybe they can take this off lane tier 1 tower though with the Siege Wagon and the Beastmaster creeps tanking for it. Yandex are going to play more of the map.
No one trying to deal with mid-wave. It's a little dangerous if he somehow gets chain stun here. There's not a lot of chain stun in this lineup. Would have to be some crisp execution to punish the Ember in this game. I feel like that has been the story of Ember this tournament. The hero keeps getting picked, keeps getting slightly counterpicked. He doesn't get demolished in lane hard enough, and then you have to play against Ember Dota, and yeah, it becomes an issue. Grab a nice little shield rune here as well. This game is becoming a little bit of a stalemate.
What do you make of DM's going to opt for Consecrated Wrap's second item after the Lotus?
That signals it's go time to me.
Like you're just saying 20 to 30 minutes, we have to get a lot done in team fights.
And I think that is what this lineup wants to do. I think that is the correct approach.
Okay.
You have to get Roshans in that period. You have to force fights. You don't want to let this turn into some split push game where Fury on Ember are ratting your waves and somebody eventually gets picked off by Roar.
Somebody needs to frontline. Consecrated Wraps make you a lot tankier to make that happen. All he has to do is make space, right? He's got 2 pretty hefty damage dealers in the Monkey and SF.
For sure. You don't need more damage here. You just need to survive in the fight. One could argue Pipe is a little better for your other 2 cores than the Wraps here, which is more just for you.
Chira Jr. Oh, the Slight doesn't hit him, but it got out Remnant, and that's going to tag him with damage. Once again, Wukong's command used defensively. A little bit of trickery, getting closer to his team. His team will back him up this time.
That's Wukong down, though.
Little resource taken away. But Chira Jr., I mean, I think he is okay with this game. No fights happening until he gets BKB. Which he almost has the hammer. Go for a pick off onto Calls in the mid lane. A fast kill. Take it, get out, especially with that mid tier 1 tower still standing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nice little play for Yandex.
At least you get some Deso charges.
Yeah, thankfully, something.
And push that monkey towards the BKB.
Trying to chase down this helm and Tom creep, the Black Dragon.
I don't know if you're getting it. This thing is...
It's in the river now, so it is running fast.
Very fast up there. So the split push this lineup has, all 3 cores can contribute to the lane pressure.
They're going to teleport behind DM. They're tired of this X marks the spot nonsense. It's satanic. Casts him away with a Hurricane Pike, a Lotus, and try and go for a TP, but they just roar right through it. And maybe that's the pick off that PVISION feel good enough to do Roche.
This is the style of game PVISION wants. Lane's going in, someone's trying to kill a Black Dragon top. Someone's dealing with the wave, they got pushed to tier 2 bottom. You find a Roar pick off, that's going to translate into an objective. Yandex cannot group up and find the team fights they want right now. The map gameplay is just too crisp. That is where Furion shines. He loves this kind of you know, you have to react to me, you have to split up, and then I just get to pick my moment. And I make those moments count for a lot more because I can always clean the waves up with Wrath of Nature.
Manta is done for Watson, and the BKB is going to be done very soon for Cheer Jr. So we are going to reach this big timing for Yandex, but once again, it's a timing that is right as PVISION are kicking into gear with the first Roshan they claim.
I don't think they should be afraid to fight into it if they can get a good fight going. You just can't be afraid to fight with the Monkey King pick here. Satanic straight into top. It's going to try and put some pressure on this tier 2. And this is the type of situation where you can take this engagement, and you should want to take this engagement as long as you can get everybody here. This is where the Kunkka can get an actual team fight. And he invested in Lotus plus the Wraps. So if I'm DM, I'm hell yeah, this guy's hit my tower. Let's take this fight. He has no BKB.
He popped the glyph, but Satanic doesn't care. And has almost brought down this tier 2 already. They're going to place some X marks the spot. Tidebringer hit. Yandex is extremely cautious.
They came up here, but they didn't take the
The smoke
fight.
is going to run into him. They hit a Boundless Strike onto 2 to start things off. No immediate follow-up. The Bushwhack only catching the Ogre. Maybe they can pick off Ducalis, and they will get that much for it.
Too defensive for my taste. I think they were way stronger there than it showed. If anything, I think that was a little bit of a risky push for PVISION. If that fight goes wrong or they get some good angles with the Monkey Kunkka.
Yeah, they've got 2 different cores that an extra life is not that good against, right? You die and you come back, you're surrounded by Wukong's command, or maybe you're getting point-blank Requiems because you don't have a BKB yet on Satanic.
That's where I think that opening existed. He will have BKB for the next fight. You might even have the Beastmaster one. The Ember's coming as well. It'll be a triple BKB lineup. The control goes out the window. You have nothing for the BKBs in this game. If you are Yandex, you're also going Enchantress Ags for the Little Friends lockdown. It's a very obnoxious spell for the Ember.
Yes.
Will he have a window to use it before Ember has a BKB? That'll be the question.
I mean, even if it means you just force him to use BKB, isn't that still kind of a...
It is still good. And it could potentially do some serious damage with the beast creeps are around a target. There's treants in this game too.
Usaksa is going to be Slide Chain, stop at the TP. Another pickoff for PVISION. Yandex, like, do you think they see this as, well, like, we just have better late game, so we're not going to force any moves and potentially take bad fights when it's up to PVISION to... So, you know, end the game.
I would say it feels more that they think that way than not. Whether that's true.
Still to be determined. Malady, is he going to be able to sprink away out of this? The heals. And he's surrounded by treants. He's not really getting away, but he's not dying either. And now Satanic. Well, they're going to jump on a Satanic. Satanic doesn't have everybody here.
No, he's dead twice.
He's dead. I mean, Wukong's command plus Requiem, they're going to boat on top of him. They drop triple core ultimates to kill Satanic.
Can they get anything
now
else?
Now the pullback on the Night Class as well. The supports, they didn't want to leave their SF to die like this, but now they just added even more to Yandex, a double for Watson.
And that's the teamfight strength I'm talking about. Yeah, they don't have the Beast there. That's a huge component. The Ember was split pushing waves. But if you get on top of the Sphere before he has BKB, he's just going to get melted twice. And that's the monkey matchup. Like, you drop the Wukong on him, he gets stuck in the middle, he's absolutely done. There's no way to win that matchup as Furion.
It's almost like Yandex lulled Satanic into this false sense of security where, like, oh, they're not going to make any plays. I can be as aggressive as I want.
You got to respect when all 5 of these heroes get to hit the same target. Like, it's an insane amount of firepower. You have that boat back up. They're going to be very tanky. Enchantress is going to cause you some issues this game. You don't have an easy way to bring Malady down on the front line, and he's going to continue to scale pretty nicely. It's an annoying game when you play all these right clickers against the Untouchable, the max heal. He already has Shard. He already has Ags done. This Ags is really annoying.
The very passive play from Yandex works out as they turn on the offense at just the right time. Get a good punish. Now let's see if they're able to snowball this a bit. Looking for another opportunity. Off this invisibility. They go for Ducalis, but the Amber Spirit was right behind him.
Doesn't matter. Too much damage too quickly. Abusing this area of the map that, again, is very hard for PVISION to get into.
They've got a good ward. PVISION have pinged the SF. but they don't really have a smoke or anything to make a play to that side of the map quickly.
Get a nice D-ward around that river as well. Vision is swinging their way.
Yeah.
They're getting some good obs out, some nice areas to play around.
I do wonder when we're going to see the early gem from either side at this point.
You got to be getting close to that point if you're PVISION, especially since you have an Ogre. This is not the best hero at utilizing net worth, so you can just buy a gem and contribute that way.
What do you mean Handamitis is so valued?
I don't think he's getting to the Handamitis here.
Well, the rat of the helm of the Overlord creep, it's getting worse as these heroes like SF and Monkey King are able to hunt it down and kill it rather quickly. So you're going to lose some of that element if you're PVISION. What elements are you going to gain soon, though? We got some item pickups. Looks like Satanic wants to get a Butterfly as his next item, which is fair enough. You have the AC and soon to be a BKB to be completed for Noticed. And no one just got his own BKB. So they've hit a timing of their own. Not enough that I feel confident taking a 5-on-5, but that's not really this lineup's forte in the first place, right? They want to split you up. Satanic, whoops. I think Cheer Jr. accidentally dropped down from the trees there, but hops away. They're going to catch Malady on the other side. Watson pops out with a Requiem, though. Oh, almost burst down Notice. Notice staying alive off some of these heals, and now gets the turnaround roar. Watson's in trouble. No one. He's going to finish him off. Jumps right on top of him. Catches Malady as well. They're coming through the gate, but it's going to be 1-by-1 for Yandex, and I think they're already making the read of the situation. Maybe this is something. He got blasted down. Chira Jr. He was trying to get off a big Wukong's command. But the speed with which PVISION brought this fight to Yandex completely surprises them. DM will manage to make the TP out. He's good, but he is the only survivor of that fight.
It started out so well with the little friends on the Beastmaster that did so much damage, but they can't connect everybody there. They're too split on the map. The Kunkka's in the upper jungle. There's two heroes going through the gate. PVISION get here faster, read the situation a little better than Yandex and able to take advantage of it, and you get nothing off from the Monkey King. No BKB pop. He gets punched down from the tree with a blinding light straight into an Ogre stun.
And you're looking at an even game, or maybe even slightly Yandex favor, and all of a sudden, PVISION, they're looking at a lane of Barracks here potentially. Now, the Kunkka is a problem as the heroes are coming back up. His catch is much to ignore, and the range Barracks does manage to stay alive.
All right, it's something to salvage the situation. Early Shiva's on DM does make him pretty strong, gives you some extra AoE clear. You just can't get the team fight going. I still think they're stronger in a straight 5-on-5, but of course,
can you get that?
Exactly. PVISION are a very intelligent team. They're not just going to give you that fight straight up. It's always going to be some rat action happening, some summons making your life annoying.
Once again, they're trying to hunt down the Furion, and they caught him with a BKB on cooldown for a couple of seconds. They do so much magic damage that now that the BKB is up, it doesn't matter.
That's a big find. He's very high level in this game, so he's going to be dead for a long time every time you take him off the map. That gives you a minute to work with here.
You know, it's funny, it's that exact play that failed earlier that left the opening for PVISION to get the fight at top, right? The Monkey King Hoodwink trying to hunt down the Furion. They kind of botch the attempted gank, and then Furion's able to go top and take that big team fight. Well, this time, they just run it back, and it works.
And I think this is the area of the map that all of their good opportunities are coming.
Sure, yeah.
Like, you really have to respect this lower jungle area against the Enchantress, against the Monkey King, how fast they can get in there, the vision advantage they're going to have. That is just not an area I want to farm with anybody outside of maybe Ember pushing out bottom or using some summons to do it. Kind of surprised Satanic was that deep in there with his hero. Instant roar on Chira Jr. under an obs on the cliff.
Knocking him down. All they had to do is keep him there with his BKB on cooldown from the earlier usage.
Everybody's just dying in this lower jungle.
Yeah, it is not a safe place to be, and no one is keeping tabs on Watson here. They are both making a move to top lane. It's going to be Eul Scepter set up into the bushwhack. BKB does go off in time from no one. And now that they force that, they make a run away. And they've got to run fast, too, because PVISION is on their way. They're going to catch Malady. And Yandex are thinking, well, can we actually save him here? The Sprint goes off, the Torrent and the Bushwhack. It's enough disables that Malady has a chance here. And if they push too far forward, look what Watson is sitting, ready to go with the Requiem and pop out with his freshly minted Daedalus.
He hits hard. You got a Shiv on top of that. Mask of Madness gives you the attack speed. You have that level 20 talent. Some extra souls.
PVISION do not stumble into that, and now Satanic is trying to set up a play for Roshan. Push in this bottom lane and go for that top lane Roche.
They're missing the Ember BKB. This is an opening. You can root him with little friends. Land a bushwhack on him. No one can potentially die with that item on cooldown. So again, they're going to start the Roche, but not commit for it. That's not a fight you want to take with some cooldowns missing.
And very easy for Yandex to keep tabs of that area. Just torrent inside the pit or throw an enchanted creep in there. Certainly no way to be able to sneak this. Shiva's for DM, and he's going to go an Aghanim Scepter next. So really just full tank and
tank spellcaster could go in here. Will be nice over the long run in the fight. Not that good in the initial BKB exchange.
Right.
So you just got to think about when you're throwing these spells out and how you're getting some value out of them. Protect your other two cores, create some space. And Roche getting stalled up for now as the Ember BKB back online. They'll scout it back out, but PVISION ready to fight. If the fight never comes, the Furion's cleaning up the map. So you're not in a rush here. You're not forced to make some sort of bad smoke. The onus is on Yandex a little bit more.
I mean, I would say the onus is on Yandex, but also, like, Watson also saying it kind of seems comfortable if this stalls out a bit. If he gets a BKB, like,
he'll be big.
How do they even interact with him on that first BKB team fight?
He can get roared. That is the biggest spell to potentially connect onto him with, and it's mainly Fury on right click. So he gets roared, Satanic TV's on top, just starts right clicking him down. Bloodlust gives you a lot of extra amp in this lineup. There's an AC already online. You have an Inner Beast Aura as well. A lot of extra attack speed going into a lot of units that can just kind of swarm you, overwhelm you. That's where this SF can die.
And now we're back to a game of a single pickoff, maybe leading to that Roshan for either side, right? You've got the Ember Spirit sweeping through the map. The Monkey King is doing something similar. The Aghanim Scepter done for 9 class, which is a very big pickup in these set areas like the Roshan pit.
At least Chira Jr. goes back to farming here. You don't want to just sit there forever in a stalemate watching Satanic's net worth go up.
Yeah, again, that's largely going to be DM and Malady's post to hold. Ooh, actually teleported right onto CJ there. CJ, not certain he could take that fight.
Oh, there's your SF BKB.
He's got his BKB, soon to be a basher on the Monkey King, while Satanic is working on a damage item here. Wants Daedalus next.
He could potentially also hold buyback on the Furion. You force the Roche fight with 2 lives, even if you get caught by some
Ember Spirit. He sees the Monkey King going through the gate, but he didn't actually complete the gate. CJ baiting it a little bit. Now he's going to back off. Again, if
no damage done,
the Monkey or the Ember Spirit make a wrong move here in their attempt to find a pickoff, get picked off instead. The Yandex actually going to be the ones to try and force the Roche here a little bit. DM going to brave the high ground, seeing how tanky he is. Lotus removing that solar bind.
They don't see this ward on the cliff.
That's a dangerous ward.
It's a very nice
especially
ward.
Since it spots Chira Jr. Though he gets slighted and he's going to start backing off.
You can potentially slight cut his tree.
Yeah,
you really have to be careful on these deep obs. It's going to time out now.
Yeah, that is very good timing for Yandex. That it naturally expires. Spots him, gets the Quelling Plate. That's what we're talking about here. Now the Will-O-Wisp trying to force that BKB, but they give him Lotus, give him a 4-step, and he's perfectly fine. Another slight change on a bunch of heroes.
Put the Enchantress in first. Try and gain some information.
How far is too far? Malady.
Oh, he's tanky.
Yeah, he really is. They cover him nicely. And this entire time, Furion is just biding his time. If nothing really shows here. Ooh, trying to sneak it? Trying to sneak it here, but again, there's too much vision that Yandex has.
He's stuck there, though. You got a mana for it now.
It's kind of awkward. Now the Bushwhack grabs him. Watson challenging, no one on the side, able to hit the sharpshooter onto Satanic, and Roshan's out of here. Ember Spear jumping right in the middle. They do manage to get the roar onto Watson. No immediate follow-up, though. It's going to be Watson fine here, thinking about the Requiem, but the entirety of PVISION have backed away. This is no longer a Roshan fight, as it's gone to the other side.
You can man up and do it here if you're Yandex. PVISION are missing a lot more than you are right now. No BKB Furion, no roar available. Ember out of Remnant.
And it's so low as well.
You can just Wukong for this.
They do have Blink. Notice, he's looking for his timing. He goes in, pops the BKB. No, it's Watson to grab the Aegis. And now the Wukong's command, notice, will not make it out alive. And once they're in the pit, there's no way out.
They're going to lose Gem on top of a bad team fight and Roshan.
Even no one sticking around a bit still gets... Oh, they're getting him on the torrent.
What a
They've
snipe.
follow up. They've got the Bushwhack and the Sharpshooter to knock him down. A double for the Slim Reaper.
They were so patient on that Roshan. And I jumped first there was going to end up losing the exchange. It was a battle of patience. Satanic kind of took the bait. He went in that pit, but he doesn't kill Roche fast enough before it starts to change sides. He almost had the BKB, the Bushwhack, to try and commit there, and there's no way you make that call. Then you're left in a very bad situation with no Roar. I don't think you can take this fight. You almost get the Aegis snipe. But even if you snipe Aegis,
yeah,
you're not winning this exchange. There's nothing for Satanic to TP into here.
Yeah.
Power of the Monkey and the SF around this pit. Their lineup is really scary when they can just set up on that objective and force you into them. That's kind of what they've been looking for all game.
The fact that they got that +1 on the Ember kill, like Ember and Furion, they don't join that fight and they just push out waves, right?
It's a big streak too. Someone got a lot of gold off of it as Soxa gets an extra 800 for the 8x streak.
Yes, sir. He is very farmed now. Aghanims. We've got Wind Waker build up for Soxa. He's got a level 3 sharpshooter.
This game is scary for PVISION right now.
Spotted on a ward. Satanic gets him, but of course Soxa has Scurry.
There's no way you're confident in your Furion scaling against Monkey and SF in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a little bit of help from Aurora. You have a couple buffs. This Ember is going to become a late game menace. But in terms of the physical man-fighting power, Monkey SF reigns supreme right now. So if you can keep them alive and just play around the Wukong, there isn't really going to be an opening for this Furion to take that fight. You have to kite around these ultimates. You have to pick a really smart angle.
Satanic and Aegis, and he's halfway there to 25. These are massive upgrades for the SF.
Oh, yeah.
Before you said, okay, you could still kind of all in the SF, Roar, and Satanic just hits him down. Well, there goes that. There's no way they can operate off of that game plan now. It's up to PVISION to outmaneuver Yandex, dodge the straight 5-on-5. Takalis is going to be spotted by the Monkey.
See ya. Not getting out of that one.
Don't forget, these are still more Deso charges. He's ramping up at 18 now.
You get some Necromastery, you get some Jingu,
yeah.
Get some Deso.
Got to deal with the top lane. It's going to be Range Barracks finally dying.
Creep pressure adding up. They'll send the Monkey back.
Wow.
This will signal vacating bottom. You already have a Hex on the Kunkka too. That's a lot of extra control in here. Hex on the Beast, so Hex for both offlaners. Definitely helps your single target initiation. I just think you only have this Furion to get in there and deal the damage. Like, there's so much pressure on Satanic to basically have perfect team fights in order for PVISION to win it.
Do you feel like 25s could solve some of these issues for PVISION? Say the 25 on Ember Spirit, right, where he's just spamming out remnants.
It helps. Like, you have to find ways to pick up scale on your other two cores in this game if you're PVISION. More consistent disable, more ability to assassinate the backline. It's just a difficult backline to assassinate.
Yeah.
That's why Enchantress has a great matchup against Ember. I think it's one of the supports that Ember just never really threatens. Like, you doing this Remnant dash spam, he's just sitting there with heal. So what? Come at me. The Hoodwink, maybe you can assassinate this Hoodwink, but even then, he already has Yules. He has Psychic Headband.
And the Wind Waker is such a cool choice, such an early item.
Oh yeah, it's great in this game.
For a support to grab.
One of the best items against the Beast Roar.
Yeah.
That you can manage to get here. And again, you're just about protecting your SF, protecting your Monkey King. If these two heroes are alive and hitting people, you're winning the fight.
Okay, but what about the Ogre scale?
What about the Ogre scale? Is there some secret hidden Ogre scale I'm not aware of? We are in the Ogre
Midas,
scale.
Man, we need the Midas.
No, there's no way you could have gotten at this game.
But think about it, for the 60-minute items, you can get those Mad Stones so quickly.
I don't want to think about it.
Will Yandex hit high ground? It seems as not to be with the Aegis anyway. They can still go for it, but Yandex have shown to be pretty patient. in this game too.
Oh yeah.
We're concerned about their lack of aggression in some of these early games, but they just chilled out and they have put themselves in a winning spot here with a 2,000 net worth lead. That may not sound like much, but against this kind of lineup, it does mean a bit more.
One of the most important things in Dota is that you feel comfortable with your game plan. It doesn't have to be the theoretical best game plan that your lineup has, but as long as everyone's comfortable, you know what you're playing for. If you believe in your scale, sometimes you just scale harder, you know, because you see it. They're definitely seeing it here, and I do think there is a lot of truth in that too. I think the scale is going to come on quite nicely here because the Monkey King is so fat.
Also the supports too, right? I mean, Malady can start turning into a right clicker. He has so much gold, he almost has a Hurricane Pike to be completed.
And it's a good Enchantress game. They don't have an easy way to take him out. This is not a hero that the cores want to commit so much of their teamfight time to. And so you put him on the front line every time, he's going to be a nuisance. Almost has 28 talent as well. Can get even tankier if he wants. Aggressive Yules.
Yeah, Blink Yules immediately is met by a roar. Found the strike down, but no one is committed as BKB to get this support kill. It doesn't happen fast, but they do get it.
That was just a misread, I think. They thought they were more split up than they were.
Sure. Thought Ember, Spirit, and Furion were out on the map, ratting and stuff. But
in which case, that's a fine way to start the fight, but PVISION were just all there. Squirrel will bite the dust as little breathing room.
Does give PVISION an opportunity here. They push out a bit more on the map, take back their triangle, and may have an opportunity to keep these pickoffs coming. It's 45 seconds till the Hoodwinks back up. You've got this Blink Scythe on the Beastmaster, so they've got this spooky hard initiation. And the counter to that is supposed to be that Wind Waker.
Satanic took Bauble, huh? Interesting.
Okay.
Might show you some long-term plans here.
Well, certainly not going to need the cooldown reduction. He's almost 25.
That's what I was saying. Like, what are you looking to bauble with here on a Furion? It's not the best bauble target. I guess you can infinitely bauble Audacious or something. Is that even a thing?
Oh, I feel like bauble possibilities are relatively unexplored.
That's true.
Take a quick Tormentor. So PVISION do a pretty good job. One support pickoff. Feels like they got a decent amount of gold off the map. Swept through large areas, took an objective.
It's a 1k gold difference in this game. Very even. But there's a large level advantage for Yandex, and just the feel of the game. Feels like their cores are hitting a little harder right now. They got to that SF25. They're going to get to the Monkey 25. Two big talents in this game. Maybe the biggest.
Yeah. They'll be able to leverage that for another Roshan.
This Wukong ring is just... I don't know, you go in Roche. You park down this Wukong. Who goes into that?
yeah.
Who is going to run into that thing and do anything in this game? It looks impossible.
Nullifier for DM's Kunkka.
All control for the two other damage dealers. And they're just waiting for Roche. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
We don't have to force anything. We know how strong we are around that objective. The way we end this game is with an Aegis on one of the two big damage dealers, likely the Watson SF. And then we can go high ground. So the onus is on you right now, PVISION, to make something happen in this game, disrupt the status quo. One of the ways they might be able to do that around the Roche pit I talked about earlier is just spamming buybacks into that objective.
Okay, yeah.
You throw one Furion life away on a Wukong, he buys, he comes back in the fight and wipes you. That is a way around some of these big ultimates a lot of times.
Right.
And Satanic should definitely have the gold for it. I mean, that is one of the things you play for with the late game Furion, because you just run out of item slots. Did tank the Treant damage and HP, by the way, so the split push from the Treants is going to be a little stronger with the 25 talent, which is nice. Again, if you can ever split Yandex up, that is another way to take a team fight. I just think that is the less likely approach, because we're at the point in the game where even if you rat that top racks, the Yandex are not going to respond to it in the middle of a Roche fight.
Right.
They'll give up some buildings to get the bigger objective here. But those are some big tomatoes.
Ooh.
Look at them go.
MKB for the Monkey King with level 25. So the butterfly from Satanic is a lot less effective, and they're going to hit him with a Boundless Strike. Follow up the Abyssal Blade. That's enough. They don't need many stuns.
They missed the Bushwhack too, so that was really important. You had the full Abyssal there with the chain stunning, and there's the overwhelming physical damage.
And the pickoff they need to very, very confidently take that Roche.
He effectively solo killed him.
Yeah,
that's like even
really
scarier.
2,500 damage.
I mean, the contribution is whatever, right? Like you probably needed it to get him there, but that shows you how much DPS Chira Jr. is doing in this game.
Yeah, in the future, it could be Chira Jr. sets up on no one, and if he Wukong's commands and then Boundless strikes Abyssal Blades, like then he maybe really can't solve.
Oh, for sure. He can 100 to 0 basically anybody in this game with a preemptive Wukong. That's going to be harder to do, but...
And that's a really big problem because it affects how much you're able to play the map, right? Like every single time the Ember pushes out, he knows he's taking his life into his own hands.
And here's a free Roshan off of that snipe.
Yes,
and
sir.
Damage in the river.
It's going to make it super fast.
No ability to react to this. There goes your potential to try and make something happen around that objective. As you see the map position from PVISION, it's very defensive, and it's been defensive for some time. I mean, you haven't noticed literally like backpacking his AC just to try and hide the aura to get some sort of opening in this game.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool play.
You got to do all the little things to try and salvage something here, but you do have 5 buybacks available right now. So there's a lot of extra gold sitting on these heroes. That's a pro and a con, right?
Sure.
Not as strong in the team fight, but if it's a high ground situation, you can abuse the extra lives. Could come in handy.
Yep. Or it means we're going to have a fresh round of items, which there's one of them, Scythe of Ice for 9 class. They are going to have a lot of Scythe of Ices because Notice is trying to double up on his with a refresher. Well, double up on the Roar. Roar, Scythe, Roar. That's a long time to be stunned.
Get an Ogre Scythe in this game. You multicast it, anything's possible.
Yeah, he also wants the Scythe, but...
his is going to be the slowest build up here for sure. Ducalis is he's
really
on the Ogre grind.
That it's worth. You have level 3 multicast. You don't think the Midas pays for itself
It's worth it, yeah. I think he probably should have gone in when you recognize this game is going to go really, really long. He probably regrets it now, you know, but...
Well, no, I'm just saying, is it worth buying right now? Because level 3 multicast can pay it back so quickly.
Honestly, it probably is. There's an argument if you can somehow get this Hex and make it work instantly in a fight that the Midas is just slowing you down.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the way you win this game is some ultra late game shenanigans, and it has to get really weird.
Satanic trying to get an MKB to answer the butterfly on Watson. He has to be able to hit this SF because they are very much all in on the single target disables to lock down this SF, and then Satanic to deliver the damage.
And of course, the high ground's still pretty scary here. You're going into unknown buyback territory. You only have the one Wukong to throw out. There's no refresher here for the monkey. You can park Watson on that high ground, but he's going to just get hexed into some burst damage. And then you're in a situation where do we take this fight with a hexed SF? Are we leaping behind a tier 3 into buybacks with a Monkey King? It just looks really weird. At the same time, I think you'd want to force that fight. Like, you're not getting too much stronger on your 2 cores here.
Yeah.
So this is the time to make something happen. If either make some crazy smoke play, try and find a pick off into the high ground like we saw the Ember die earlier. Try and bait PVISION out of their base, if you can manage that somehow. You can just drop a banner and like mega slow siege it. That is another option for sure.
Watson hitting the tier 3 makes this a very fast siege.
Yeah, he's got the bonus attack range off alert. That definitely helps the high ground siege here. That plus the Hurricane Pike, you can sit mega far back. Throw the potato up there.
Trying to catch the Ember.
There's the potato Revenge Aura.
There it is.
One of the best spells in Dota. And it's gone.
Banner almost dead, but not quite. Continuing the assault now onto the barracks.
This is where it's dangerous.
Watson braving that high ground. Oh, and they're going to aggressively force that into the site. And they try and get him out, but the nullifier's is placed onto him. He's already dead already. He does manage to get away, keep the Aegis intact for now. Does not use the Satanic. Still has his BKB in his backpack. So nothing lost there, but that was an interesting damage test. It really showed that PVISION can kill him quickly.
That's why it's so scary. There's just so much chain hex potential, and then you have to make a call if you're jumping deep or not. They bail him out. No harm done, but you don't get that Rax.
There will never be a save, right, that is actually can be used against Scythe of Ice Nullifier, right? They get him. He's not BKB'd. You can't win Waker,
Yes.
can't force staff.
You have to just commit to the fight. They do have a refresher shard from that Roche, and they did give it to Chira Jr., so you technically have double Wukong here. Again, this is kind of your timing to end the game right now. You have a minute on this Aegis. The high ground doesn't get easier when this Aegis expires.
Okay, well
that is for sure.
Now the MKB is done for Watson. They get to this high ground fast enough to force PVISION to fight into the Aegis. Will PVISION get a quick execution on him, or will they just give up the lane of barracks in exchange for Aegis expiring? A whole lot of very important decisions to be made in this next 30 seconds, or we're just going another round and wait for Roche.
And the thing is, if you're not decisive, something is going to be pushing your top lane.
Yes.
And you might lose a Rax off of the indecision here. They're going to send Watson up
just
again.
Marches forward. Another aggressive force half into the side. Then push them even deeper. That's going to be that Aegis.
He has to slot BKB in. There's a 1.5 second difference here if he gets hexed again.
They can get another Scythe initiation on him, but a force staff, he gets out. They don't have another nullifier to stop those saves. So better to wait for the nullifier to be back up.
But what do you do now? You committed another banner. You do have catapults here.
I mean, maybe it's time to drop the Wukongs.
Maybe it's time to force Satanic into you. Give them a taste of their own medicine. You got to do something to break the formation here.
It's really difficult for the Monkey King to get close to this fight against the Ember Spirit. It's just too dangerous.
Oh, and look at this. The creeps went tops. They immediately smoke off of this play, trying to catch some stragglers. That play is really hard to make work. You have to be very preemptive with it. You kind of have to pre-read when they're going to back up and like already be smoke wrapping as the first guy TP's top.
Yeah, you do it too early, you run into 5 heroes. That's not what you wanted.
Yes.
You do it too late, well, that's maybe a smoke potentially wasted, as in this case, Yandex do manage to retreat fast enough and
Very
make
cool
a
idea.
smoke play of their own now behind the tier 2. 9 class is going to break. Will-O-Wisp breaking the trees. That's the danger of this Monkey King versus these heroes.
Can't commit
A lot
into
of
that,
good
though.
ways to break out the trees, and it just allows them to retreat.
All space for the Ogre Magi farming out bottom.
That's right, that's right. Getting closer and closer to that site. You imagine he gets a multicast force staff, multicast Scythe of Ice?
All right, you're getting ahead of yourself. That's a real Ogre pipe dream.
Oh, got him on the Boundless Bash and an Abyssal Blade.
He's done.
He's dead.
Nice snipe from Chira Jr.
My God.
Another huge find in this game. He does have buyback available, but you're going to get a lot of map control off this, which might be more valuable.
Yeah, Notice is pushed out the bottom lane enough. Somebody's going to have to deal with it, but the death timers are so long, it's easy to deal with the pressure of the lanes.
Do you force the high ground?
I mean, you got it, right? It's either you do it during Roshan or you do it during heroes being dead and force buybacks. Man, what a bash. That's just...
From the hand of Gabe himself.
Yeah.
Delivered. They have bots 2 on the Kunkka. So
Cut
he's
down the
dealing
tree.
with waves. He can join.
Trying to get a aggressive force staff into the base here with the Will-O-Wisp, turning him around, but they do manage to turn back and he's just dead.
What?
And their Requiem doesn't cover him. They do manage to force out Satanic here. Satanic pops his BKB. And now it's a man fight between Watson and Satanic, and they're not winning it easy with the numbers advantage that PVISION have. They got to feel comfortable with this. They've got still a Satanic to be used on Watson. He
just
pops
used
it now,
it.
but he needs to use his BKB, otherwise his Scythe device, he might just die. Wind Waker's going to be popped. His Satanic is almost gone, and even as he pops the BKB, can't get any life steal down. PVISION pick off one after another, a third to die. And just like that, PVISION back in the driver's seat.
If you go high ground again, at this point you have to just jump them. You can't slow siege this. There's too many hexes, too much control. This Monkey King got obliterated at long range from Satanic. Just get laying in with the right clicks. He has so much attack range himself. His hexes, these force staffs, they're deadly on the high ground siege.
An early buy, Malady is gonna be the first to pop the buybacks here, but there's certainly more to come as all of these lanes, all 3 of them are being pushed in. You're gonna need some cores up to defend, otherwise...
He got to the Ogre Hex.
You got it.
I cannot believe he got here. You need some more
Treants are hitting tier 3s. Beastmaster creeps are hitting the melee barracks top. Another 14 seconds till the Monkey King's back up. DM. His X will pull him out of range here, but it's still the building down.
The first lane of racks going to PVISION here off some sick high ground defense execution.
The Monkey's back up, but they will not retreat. And now it's 20 seconds till the SF. Trying to hold off. Another tier 3 is going to fall here. Soxa taking advantage. of the slight retreat there from PVISION. Tries to grab Satanic before they can get away. They're out.
They're just using items better right now. Like, they're getting more value out of this 4-staff Hex itemization than Yandex have gotten out of all of their overwhelming firepower. It feels as if they need more Lincoln's Lotuses, something to just prevent that initial goal, or you just jump and start the fight on your terms. Like, you just yeet yourself in, drop a Wukong stun, instant BKB, and don't allow these Hexes to have that advantage that they're having right now. But you got to have some sort of game plan. Because look at the committal. No one's even committed in this fight. Yep. Like, they're poking you. You're getting sprouted. You're getting chains. You're getting solar bound. There's a Will-O-Wisp pulling you back in. Now all of a sudden, the second you're Hex, Satanic commits the long-range right clicks. There isn't a clear turnaround opening in these fights.
Well, let's see what Yandex learned from that. Is it never go high ground, or is it going to be the better item usage? We do have the Lincolns being built by Malady. He recognizes the problem that they have. He also has just hit level 25 off another round of Wisdom, so he's got extra impetus damage. Same goes with Saksa with the Sharpshooter, so they certainly have their own burst damage. The problem's just been finding the initiation, which is hard to get when you're the one sitting on the low ground.
I like the Lincolns, again, recognizing the situation. I think it will come down to, can you start a fight on your terms? Can you get this Wukong placed down on top of some heroes, stun some people up, and pop BKBs and get the job done? I don't think you can afford to let PVISION continue to play the poke game here. Their long-range poke is really causing you issues. You don't have a good response to it. Top lane is such a nuisance. It means that Kunkka just has to sit up here until the fight starts. It's really obnoxious that Yandex can't have him on that front line with the Hex.
Yeah.
It's just not nearly as easy for DM to connect with this because he's not there at the start. Someone has to deal with the wave pressure in this game. Still have a cheese, still have some big Lotuses here. Sustain to play around, but there's the Beast Refresher, so you have the Roar Hex Roar, you have the Coddle Hex, you have the potential multicast Hex.
It's just a ridiculous amount of sight device, man. I think my favorite part about this is this is a discussion, a decision that was made like 20 minutes ago.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah. I mean, they got a plan for it.
Ogre was working on this for a while. They were on the back foot, and they saw their way. They saw this game was going late. How do we itemize in order to give ourselves a chance to win these late game fights? Mass scythe device it is.
It's the sign of an elite team. Your ability to itemize yourself out of the hole, out of the situation, come up with a solution. This late game is not easy going against all this SF monkey scale. You really have to have a good idea of how you're going to play the fights and how you're going to use your net worth to mitigate their physical advantage. They are doing exactly that.
To defend your high ground, it's a whole nother to take a team fight
that is
out
also
on the map.
Into potential buybacks.
They try and get the initiation. Got it on the Monkey King. He's nullified for now. They can't control it, though. He got off his BKB. Wukong's turned around. The Roar placed on the SF. The SF is dying. And from a distance, Satanic will bring him down. Now with the SF gone, bring a pull back in for the Dino Wave. What a play from DM, showing up big there. Being able to get two different pickoffs, and now no one have to pop his BKB off an Aeon disc pop. Gems on the ground. Malady will grab one of them, two of them in his inventory, a third left to the ground.
Honestly, not the worst exchange for Yandex. Yeah, you lose your SF, but you get double support buyback as they commit him instantly to go for this Roshan. And yeah, sick tidal wave from DM, pulling you back into this Wukong. You really have to maximize the Wukong value in this game. He does have a refresher shard. This is a Roche you can contest. You can commit the SF buyback for it. Get another Wukong.
It requires the Monkey King to be in a position, though.
It's very tough.
His
you don't have a
nemesis
smoke.
has been 9 class with this Will-O-Wisp. He can't hop into these trees and get close to the pit easily. There it is. He knocks it down right there. They stop him from being pulled off of the cliff. It's not quite enough time for PVISION to take this Roshan clean. In fact, Satanic is almost dead here. Has to pop a Satanic, and it's BKB refresh there. No one. He gets out with his remnants off the refresher. Meanwhile, DM, ooh, that was a big chunk of damage there. Satanic still hitting pretty hard, even against the tanky Kunkka and Roshan. This time, it's Roshan leaving the pit to go top again, while mid is under assault from Treants right now. They have a full lane of barracks right now.
I can't believe they didn't buy this SF, and I also can't believe that PVISION didn't force that fight a little bit more, trying to get the SF by. Now they're trying to kill Roche as it's walking across the map, but it's uncontested.
The slight chains holding him down. Roshan's going to die in the middle of the map. The spoils of war will go to PVISION.
A successful Roshan in the end.
But now the turn to PVISION. You have the advantage. You've got the extra life. Are you willing to go high ground with it?
I think you have to try and send it to some degree. You can do it with some split push pressure, though. You have a bit more tools at your disposal in how you take this fight, particularly with hexes. And you can kind of sit the fear on. He's hitting the tower. Yandex are forced to commit a little bit unless you can like force staff tidal wave him in. We could see a similar situation. But you can also park summons on one lane, start hitting the other, see what develops out of that. And you always have that Fury on buyback to commit to an aggressive push.
60-minute items. He committed for the Enchanter's Bauble. He's going to continue to bobble, win for the vaults, 40 primary attributes, and maybe going to buy a Divine Rapier soon. The smoke in the top lane doesn't work initially for PVISION.
You gotta remember, this Evolved is different on Universal Heroes. He gets the 24 across the board. So it is technically more overall stats for a Universal Hero, and he's bobbling it. That's a lot of stats.
Yeah.
Kind of insane. We'll see if that Divine Rapier comes out. Regalia, at least for the SF, will up his damage. You did not get the Stygian on the Monkey, though. There's no way you're taking Book of the Dead over Stygian here if you're a Cheerier Jr.
True.
So a bad roll for him. We'll see what else.
Beastmaster, Harmonizer, Stygian Desolator, Book of the Dead is what I assume he wants to take. Though he hasn't made that decision quite yet.
Book is pretty nice here. That Stygian is also pretty nice, just you getting hits in for everybody else, but he'll take the Book. Too good individually on him. You're also adding to the lane, the map pressure here. You have so many summons on the map.
Well, somebody's going to take that Stygian. It's going to be Malady. With 115 extra movement speed, he's cruising around. And with this impetus, he's hitting pretty damn hard.
The thing is, you rather have the Stygian on the Monkey and the Book on the Enchantress for the Rabble Rouser.
Right, of course.
Pure damage nuke back. So it's kind of sad for Yandex that they got it on the opposite heroes here. You do get it a little bit, at least in the end. As Satanic has just run out of item slots. Too much gold for his own good. Still has almost 9,000 gold. He just flies a Swift Link into his backpack, and now he's got to decide what he wants to play with here.
He's just got... It's funny because, like, the Hurricane Pike has felt like a very important item, that extra attack range to hit the SF without being hit back, right? Don't let the SF get the opportunity to swing with the Satanic. We haven't seen Watson pull that off a single time yet in these fights. Got the roar on Cheer Jr.
The monkey.
All in on him. Everything that they have to kill this Monkey King, and down he goes. And now the extra heroes, they push out. Watson has to turn around, start swinging at the Ember Spear, but they go for Soxa with the Nullifier. They're going to take him down easy. A refresh. No one keeps it going. Requiem's going to hit him, but the Aeon Disc is going to protect him, and he gets off a BKB, jumps over them, and away he goes.
There's
a very clean couple of kills there with the Monkey King, and Satanic actually went for Watson to hit him with the Sight Device, stopping Watson during his Satanic time. He still has BKB to be able to work with. Wukong's command, aim for the side. Went for the Beastmaster, got him inside the Wukong command, inside with the Abyssal Blade, he's gonna fall. 2 dead, now another, a Sight Device, push back on the Ember. Did he have the damage to finish him off before he jumped away to his remnants? He doesn't have anything up, he's gonna die. Satanic so fast. As well. A massive pickup for Yandex, as that was a must-win play. With buybacks being utilized, they had to get a team fight victory in, but they are a long ways away from victory because now they're the ones who have to force the buybacks out of PVISION.
And you still lost a lane of racks. There's just no way to keep your base alive in any sort of engagement when there's so many creeps going for the rat action. However, you have a window here. You have a window to potentially win this game if you can win one more team fight, and you still have the Refresher Shard for Cheer Jr. here. He never ended up using it because he never got that initial Wukong off. Some Courier Snipes going out as well. You could full send it here. You have an SF buy to play with.
Tier 3s, straight to the Tier 4s. Is that going to be the idea here for Yandex? Not quite. They're going to play it a little bit slower here. Leading off Nullifier, pulling back in the Ogre Magi. There goes one of those Sight Devices. That's down for 2 minutes. As these single target disables start getting picked off one after another, Watson's game is made easier and easier. Maldi on the front lines, seemingly untouchable at this point, and no one doesn't have much to work with. There goes the Wukong's command. The Ember Spirit's got to get out of this AoE, and he does manage to do so, but that leaves the tier 4s exposed.
He has another one.
A glyph is going to be popped, a refresh used, and another round. Trying to go for the roar. Doesn't manage to get through the Lincolns. Placed onto Watson. Tier 4s are dropping fast. Maldi's going to drop low here. No one, nullifier placed onto him. Requiem goes out. Still though, Maldi gets burned through. One tier 4 down.
You gotta go.
To the fall. It's time for some sort of defense to be put up. They gotta go in now with no clip. There's nothing to stop Watson. He pops his BKB, goes all in. They get the game 3. Yandex. They were struggling to be able to close out this game 2, and for a moment, it looked like it slipped through their fingers. But in the end, they put the pieces together and managed to close out game 2. We're gonna see a series neither team had truly been tested. Both of them had only lost a single game, and the group stage easily washed away by their quite superior scores coming out of it. Going into playoffs, they managed to get easy 2-0s, but finally, in one of the highest skill games we've seen all year, this game 2, we did see both teams truly get pushed to the brink there. Yandex came out the better for it, but it only gets them to this game 3. And it'll all be settled here. Who will make it to the grand finals? Yandex versus PVISION. Already starting off with a bit of early action here as Zoxa found right next to the tier 1 tower and a Sunstrike that could have delivered the kill over to the mid laner of no one, but instead goes to the carry, Satanic.
He will always take the gold if it's available. Can't outlast hit this kid. Nice little start for the Lone Druid. And some heroes coming out in this game 3 that I expected to see in this series. The Invoker, the Enigma, the PL as that last pick. Some spicy clutch picks that have a lot of scaling power behind them. That's what strikes me this game. Like, this is not a game I think either team is expecting to run over. So you're looking to get some of these heroes that are going to quietly scale into that late game with some backup and try and put the pressure on you in those late game team fights. The PL could be a big problem in this game, but I do think between Invoker and Axe, plus 2 stunning supports, you have ways to kind of catch him and just all in him. And I think the Bear can cause some heroes issues that forces the PL to respond, and you can maybe play around that around the map. Like, there's a lot of global pickoff potential if this Axe Call or Shackle lands into Sunstrike, into a Bear that pops out from Invis. It can just surprise you and kill anybody in this game. That is something the Yandex are going to have to think about. But if it does go ultra late, I mean, there's just so much chaos in the team fight. Between Eidolons, Caudal Blasts, Jakiro spells, there's a Pango rolling in that you have to deal with, and then there's Phantom Lancer illusions running amok. Incredibly toxic lineup, honestly. Like, I would not want to play against this Yandex line. This is like one of those lineups you see in a pub, and you're like, come on, dude. Really? Like, this is what you guys are playing? You know, why are you so try-hard? This is such a try-hard draft. And we'll see if it works out for him. This is a hero they've gone back to. This Phantom Lancer that I feel, it's not a crutch, but it's like, how do we get out of this weird draft position? We'll last pick PL and just put it all on the line. Hope Watson can carry us on one of his signature heroes, and time and time again, he's proven that he can. So we'll see if it gets him into the grand finals here. 2 of the highest win rate heroes here at EWC, the Phantom Lancer especially, having 5 wins and only the single loss at this tournament. Definitely a little bit more of a cheesy pickup. I mean, Lone Druid is also a very cheesy hero. Oh, for
this
sure.
is a hero that everybody knows is incredibly good right now. Do you think that it was worth giving this Lone Druid opportunity to PVISION? Do you feel like they answered it appropriately enough? Who's on a timer here? I assume Phantom Lancer is fine to go late game against Lone Druid, but I don't really know.
I don't think late game is favored for either team. I think it'll come down to execution. They both have a lot of scale in the tank. I think the PL is one big factor. Like, in theory, he scales super hard here. But at a certain point, I can also see him falling off like ultra late against this Triport if they get really big. And I think the Black Hole is always an X factor, right? You have a Wyvern Curse cancel.
Yep.
You have a Call cancel, because that AoE gets kind of big now.
Sure.
But the Black Hole's always late game threat. I do think they have good answers to the Lone Druid. Like, this is not a game where they gave it away and he's going to have a free game. The Solar Bind's annoying. The Jakiro spells are annoying. And they got their big lane counter for DM in this Enigma. This has been the matchup that they favored the most. They're going to give away the Lone Druid. They want the Enigma on this lane with the Eidolon pressure going in.
The Entangle on him, that's going to be some bonus damage here, especially with the Sunstrike. Does a lot, and the final hit, not enough. Fairy Fire will save the day.
Getting pressured out early, though. This is what you want from the Lone Druid, and some extra sustain from the Wyvern definitely helps the Bear fight through some of the summons. This Enigma gets to level 3 and 5 uncontested. He's going to kick you out of lane. He's going to win this lane. He's going to dominate your tower. Very strong start for Satanic in a matchup that Yandex felt was going to go a lot better for them. Like, we have 4 last hits on this Enigma. He just got forced into the jungle to try and get to the level 3. So you have a first blood lone druid with free farm down here, kicking out the counter matchup.
Got to win it elsewhere. With this other side lane, a trade-off of supports perhaps. 9 Class is going to get low. Watson off the call, couldn't finish the job. Both Notice and 9 Class will be low off of that, but he can't really keep it going.
Strong start for the Axe, too. Quad gauntlet into a straight ring of health. You have these Sunstrikes to play with off of every early call. He's mega tanky up here. He's mega fat already, and this is a lane that Axe wins. Like, you can't really win this lane as PL. There's just no way around it. You try and limit the damage, you get your own farm. It's not the worst matchup in the game anymore, but Notice should be having a very good time in the first 15-20 minutes here.
Well, the upside of this early laning phase for Yandex will be the mid lane matchup, because Chiro Jr. is really taking it to no one here. 11 denies, 22 CS, has done very well for himself, and even harassing no one quite a bit, keeping him farther back. But of course, that can all be kind of undone if no one keeps getting funneled Sunstrike kills, which, well, he hasn't gotten one yet. He has assisted.
Still a good matchup in the game, too. I've been impressed by how much this Pango's been able to put pressure on Invoker in the mid game. You just commit the early roll, just start running at him.
Early glyph use, trying to kick him out here from being able to get the last hit on these range creep.
TP the Wyvern in.
Enter Wyvern. He's got a swashbuckle, should be able to get away from a lot of damage, especially with no one getting so low. Cold Embrace to help, but it also means he's going to miss some CS while that happens. Meanwhile, top lane, Notice, he does manage to get that kill. Watson is able to get the return, though.
Nice experience for the Phantom Lancer up here. Not too sad with that exchange. You can bring out some items on the Jakiro.
Watson's so low, though. Between a power shot and a Sunstrike,
you got to bring him something.
Yeah.
Salve. Yep. Salve drop. Bring it back. Will end up being fine. Pretty low on mana, but as long as PL's farming, you don't really care about anything else. Be curious to see what 9 Class goes on that Wind Ranger, because this pick was like, I think you could have picked 9 Class any hero there. Your draft kind of had everything it needed to function. So it was what spicy pick does he want to play there? And they busted out the Wind Ranger, maybe for some more long-range poke off of some of these stuns. Maybe they just wanted another stun in general. But it's not a hero I'm used to seeing him play or bust out when he has his choice.
Soxa sneaking around behind the Invoker. Could not get in a position to get a blinding light push into Chiro Jr.
A lot of pressure right now, though, with this Catapult Wave mid. The Invoker's only level 5, and you have this Chakra Magic behind the Pango. Such a deadly combination.
Oh, yeah. Get very low cooldown Swashbuckle, very low cooldown Shield Crash combined with him having the opportunity for a Rolling Thunder. He hasn't leveled it up yet.
Gotta bring both supports here to defend this push.
And what if DM cuts over, too?
Could be nice.
He's kind of in the area, farming up with Eidolons right now.
The rune spawn bottom, though. That means Chiro Jr. is going to have to spend a lot of time getting this. They're going to lose their wave under tower. No, they get the power rune, but that push moment with the catapult will be defended here. DM just trying to cut the lane. I mean, this tells you how poorly that LD lane went.
Yeah.
This is not a lane you want to go cutting with the Enigma on. This is a lane you want to be pressuring the bear.
Well, it does put him in a position to always be able to farm up neutrals as well, if he can hold to it, but it also means he's also in a position to get gank tiers. Dakalis has slowed him down, Satanic has run over, but Chiro Jr. is the better of the 2 mid heroes right now, so his presence kind of scary. Sunstrike lands on a Malady, who's taking the man fight against 9 Class, and will lose that fight.
PVISION coming out strong in this game 3. 2 side lanes are absolutely cooking here. It's only this mid that Yandex have to play around.
Chiro Jr. is so strong right now. Is he going to level up Rolling Thunder to take this Wisdom Shrine?
No, I don't think you can go in there on your own.
That's fair.
Get some Forge Spirit action, though.
Meanwhile, you got to deal with the bear. Very fun game. Almost killing it. Cold Embrace will spare it from ticking out. Call Sunstrike, top lane, Watson gets dunked. What a combo. They snuck that one in out of nowhere on Watson. Just Axe rounding the corner, catching him on the call, and then Sunstrike dunk in just rapid succession.
And we're going to see a couple more of these at least this game. The call is just so deadly because you're going to get called into Guaranteed Sunstrike, into Power Shot, into some Wyvern spells. Like, there's so much follow-up on every Axe play in this game. It's going to be a problem around the map, especially if the bear can get a fast Silver Edge online, then he's contributing to map pressure and some threat around the... This is where the map can just become really difficult to play, which to me has been the theme of this series. It's like, how do you get the lanes out without dying, and how do you threaten the enemy cores when they're trying to get the lanes in? Enigma will still kick these heroes out of here. That is how powerful the Eidolons are with the drum.
Well, you combine that with Chira Jr. also rotating out of lane. There's no way for them to fight this. So will be an early tower advantage, it's looking like, for Yandex. That'll help offset the gold lead that PVISION currently has off of winning their side lanes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
See how much damage they can get done on the map with the Enigma being able to run in enemy areas in this Pango. Should have a pretty nice timing on the defusal and then Chakra Magic behind him.
Children taken off by the tornado.
I just got to keep defending this mid tier 1 if you're PVISION. Keep giving space to no one. Keep looking for some Sunstrike kills. Relieve the pressure from the Invoker. Look to play through your 2 side laners a little bit if you can keep doing it.
Class enjoys this battle with Malady because he's got Windrun, where a large share of the damage early on from Jakiro comes from that Liquid Frost.
Under attack. Dire's top
Chira Jr. is now hitting mid tower. And at some point, PVISION, are you going to say enough is enough and try and stop these? Maybe they don't really have the option to, especially since, I mean, who's going to rotate out of the side lane? Certainly not Satanic. Winter Wyvern's not terribly strong right now.
You just got to keep out spamming it.
Yeah.
You're not going to bring your 2 side lane core to this mid lane. The Axe is getting way too much right now. He's power farming. And this Lone Druid is not a hero that joins early fights. So you just got to make do with what you have around the mid lane. Does mean you have support freedom to bring this Wyvern and Wind Ranger into any play you want. There's some benefit there. Just got to play for your first item timing. Try and keep this mid tower alive through the power of the Invoker. That's where that Enigma swinging behind mid could have been nice early in this game, but I think his lane just went too bad. He's just too low level to make that kind of rotation. If he had dominated this lane, taken the bottom tier 1 quickly, he could have gone for that mid swing, and it could have swept this tempo up considerably, but you just got to play it a little slower here. Does have Black Hole online. Could be a nice early game threat if you can have the supports back you up.
Malady zooming the haste rune.
That's a tanky Axe, man.
It's a tanky Axe, it's a tanky bear. There are a lot of tanky things sitting in front of Yandex that they just can't really threaten in these side lanes. But all the meanwhile, PVISION are probably very happy. They've almost got no one to his Meteor Hammer, which will help him start chipping away at this mid tower, but also increase his farm rate.
As long as the tier 1 standing mid for PVISION, I think they're very happy with what's going on. Diffusal Pango will pick the game up, but you're still a ways away from there. So you got some more time to work with, and Axe is doing Axe things, man. You got a lot of early armor with this phase boots into the Splint Veil. Almost level 10. You're always a threat on Watson with the Sunstrike backup. Like, you get called into Power Shot Sunstrike, you get chopped. So you can't get too aggressive up here with the Phantom Lancer. Depends on what supports you see on the map. See 9 class mid, okay, you can kick him out of lane. You don't see the supports on the map, it gets a lot spookier to go for that kind of simple play. And there are some ancient stacks being cleared by Chira Jr. here.
Yeah, once again, Yandex seem to be okay with, I feel like they have the heroes to make moves, but they're okay just chilling and hitting a better timing later on. That'll be that Diffusal Blade timing. Get to that.
I don't mind that just because this Enigma lane did not go the way they wanted it to. So your whole game slows down as a result, and you just have to respect that, not force any bad moves.
Vessel's going to be the build-up for the Enigma.
A lot of
no
early
need
game
for an
investment.
early Blink Dagger, that's for sure.
You will have to get something done with this Enigma build-up, though. If you go Vessel on this hero, you need to go fight. You need to get some charges, start punishing some heroes around the map.
Take that mid tower.
I mean, we'll scale a little bit here, I guess, against some of the anti-healing. You can throw it on the bear, but...
And they'll have some, like, it'll be a little difficult to use good cold embraces, because there might be a Macropyre,
sure.
They do have a Vessel. It sets up for the Illuminate Blast of Soxa. There is some magic damage to punish it, at least early on.
Smoke noticed. He went ring into Splint Mail into Blink. A very unexpected Blink if you're sitting here as the Yandex.
It could pay off in a big way. He's about to get a 2-man call. The Sunstrike placed onto Soxa. One cooling blade now attempting did roll up, but a really great winner's curse. They're going to troll him for so long, get the meter on him, and another dunk. What a surprise pickup from Notice. That plays off beautifully. It's a third kill they're going to get off of this play.
Chop.
Oh my, that is just so sick.
That is
just played it slow. Oh,
that is the best outcome you could possibly hope for with rushing the blink over a more farming item like Blade Mail and doing Ancients or something. Not only do you get 3 heroes off this play, you get them in beautiful fashion. The Invoker's involved. You steal some of the Ancients. You get chops out of it. And you lose nothing.
Yeah, Blink Dagger just paid for itself, basically.
100%. Sick move. And you slow down that Diffusal on the Penguin, which is the one item you want to slow down in this game.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is just an immaculate move. You even get that mid tower, yeah, with the hammer. That's a 4-5K net worth equivalent play right there off of a surprise blink. And you're just not thinking about that at all because you're looking at this axe. He has Splint Mail. He has Ring. All right, he's going to finish up the Blade Mail, right? This is standard build up. The Rings for the regen. He's going to go do some Ancients, and then he'll have Blink. You're thinking he's still like 1,000 off of that, maybe 1,500. And then all of a sudden, he's just jumping you on your Ancients. Very heads up call.
Going to be a bit too late to contest the Wisdom Shrine again. His positioning not there for it, but he almost has his Mjolnir. Him and the axe top the net worth chart, and Watson's trying to catch up, but it's just a slower farming hero. Manta will speed that along a little bit more, but it's time for Yandex to strike back here. But
they'll get something.
Just getting to call us off of this. Not going to be super happy.
It's free though.
That's true.
With Chakra Magic, all these plays are free with the Pango. You're going to get something off of this move, but you're right. It's not a big target. It's the hero that PVISION are happy to give away here, especially with 3 cores all farming the map right now. And there's the Blade Mill for the axe. So this axe call just got a lot deadlier. Top tower is going to fall for free. He'll cut another wave, and they can absolutely bring him into another play. This is where the map becomes a little scarier to play, particularly around that mid lane. You smoke that axe in a mid, he gets a nice call. It's going to set the whole team fight up because there's so much follow-up off of this stun and no way to really disengage from it in this game. Nobody can really create a buffer unless you just blink Black Hole. Oh, you can't lose the Pango here again.
Notice blinks past Cheer Jr. Cheer Jr. gets the low ground, but does get shackled up. Here comes the Sunstrike. Got him throwing the no. The call comes through first. Noticed again, and now the winner's curse on the Enigma with the Eidolons in tow. So DM takes a heap of damage. He's going to go down again. Noticed. He is cleaning house this game.
What a monster. Level 13 in this game right now. No one's even level 12. Does lose his courier to Eidolon, so that's a little unfortunate. But he's already got some early chop armor. 9 armor harvested by the 16-minute mark.
Oh, no one trying to make a solo play here. Can he get out fast enough? It's close. He does die to Watson. So that was actually a bit of a gift there for Yandex, who are in a bit of a bad spot.
And there's the Manta for the Phantom Lancer. So he gets Manta completed plus that gold injection. Yeah, nice pickup for him. They're going to need the PL to salvage a little bit of this game. This axe is doing work.
Blink Dagger next for DM.
He's got Vessel charges, so you get this blink, you can definitely start getting involved in the game in a big way. This is the Mjolnir Bear. Not attacking, still pushing.
That's so silly. Ducalis is hoping to go blink for blink. He's just going to be the answer to the Enigma the entire game. Slowed down, Sunstrike a little off the mark, but somebody will get the kill, and that somebody is Satanic, who was halfway to his Aghanim Scepter, and that's when the bear really starts ramping up the pressure. Between his global presence and the Invoker, and then the active axe, you're gonna be feeling it if you're Yandex.
That's where this game can become uncarryable for the Phantom Lancer. If you start just bleeding out heroes across the map, even if the PL is finding farm, this isn't a hero that 1v5s in a true sense. He still needs somebody else to make some space in the fight and help him contribute some damage, at least a little control. Noticed on the hunt. He's got the Sunstrike, he's got the Power Shot. Every call is deadly right now on the map, so if you can occupy some enemy territory, it feels real good to take away the farm from Watson here.
See Yandex just playing full defense here. Double offensive wards and double defensive wards, basically placed in the same spots here. both Yandex and PVISION.
Trying to defend or attack the PL's farming rotation. Not a hero that's going to go do Ancients. So you kind of know where Watson wants to stay.
They almost got to him there. Both carries just trying to get to their Ags uncontested, and the Lone Druid is very uncontested.
They do have an amp damage on Chira Jr., and he finished his blink, so they're going to smoke, bring Watson into this play. They say he's strong enough to join the fight right now.
I think they've already seemed to have made the read because they had this Lotus Ward on the right side of the map that spotted DM's movement.
Well, they also had this obs right where they smoked around this like hard camp near the mid-tier 2. So heads up obs placement from 9 class earlier will bail them out of this amp damage timing.
9 class will lead him on a little chase here. And he may eventually die for it. Actually tucks himself into the corner and TP's out successfully. So
nice
absolutely
dodge.
Nothing gained for what is essentially like 4 heroes all hunting.
And that's the risk with making these big plays, bringing the carry into it. That basically it cost you 1,000 net worth. As these other cores are just mopping up the map.
That's why it's oftentimes so easy just to be the ones to sit back and farm, which is where that notice, again, that early Blink Dagger pickup was so cool, because if they don't find that kill, right, he starts falling behind.
Oh, 100%.
Misses his timings.
Very few players would go for that play.
Especially in a stressful game like this. Noticed.
Do they see the
Sees a camp that just got farmed. Gets the call into the Pango. Sunstrike and a Culling Blade. Sunstrike is all it takes.
He is on a rampage in this game. 7-1-2. Just making everything happen right now. I mean, he's probably gotten this Invoker an extra like 1,000 plus gold just off of his plays, right? He's gotten the Bear another 1,000 or 2,000 with all the space that Satanics had to farm because there's no pressure going into him. Ags is already done here for the Panda. Now also level 15. So the map pressure is going to pick up considerably right now.
Yeah, now it's no longer the Lone Druid Bear with then Mjolnir just pushing out the bottom lane. He's going to take that off lane tower, make the map smaller.
If you give Satanic this much space, if he can farm out all of his jungle with the hero, continue to push waves with the Bear, this lead is going to exponentially increase here. You just don't have the same amount of space to keep up. You needed some more fights going your way with this Pangolier. You needed to maybe get 1 or 2 extra kills with Black Hole. Be on their side of the map with the Enigma. You're losing too much ground right now. This lead is gonna explode.
Eidolon spreading out through the map. Now they need little mobile wards to try and read these rotations to make sure that Watson is still farming uncontested, which he has been. He wasn't the one caught by the axe earlier. That was CJ. Jump on a 9 class here. Wind run. Gonna make it difficult for them, but ultimately he will die, right? He'll die. Okay, yeah, just to make sure they got him.
Get a little extra TP, you know? More value off that kill, but again, not a big target.
Yeah. I think that's a thing that PVISION has consistently been better at, is putting their supports in a position that they just don't bleed anything from many of these smokes. Malady spotted on the Lotus by no one.
Yeah, see ya. That's a freebie. They didn't even need to pop the smoke on the other 2 heroes. They could still look for an axe play. And of course, he can go in solo because you have the global backup of that Sunstrike.
And he's going to get the call on the Phantom Lancer. Sunstrike not being thrown out.
He didn't have the mana for it.
Broker, TP away. Do they've got Winter's Curse. They've got enough to stop this one. No Doppelganger to get away. Another Culling Blade. While the Bear is pushing bottom, it took the offlane tower. Now it's taking your Ancient stack. Everything is being ripped away from Yandex right now.
This is highway
they gotta get
robbery.
At least the Bear. The Malefice. Slowdowns should be more than enough to get that bounty. It'll be 315 for Chira Jr. That helps, but it does not rectify these pickoffs.
Have to find a way to regroup on this map. We're at the point in this game, past 20 minutes, Tormentor's online, Roche is there. You keep bleeding some of these kills, you're going to pay a way bigger price than you have so far in this game.
Oh, man. Okay, so Malady just, they had a ward, and they saw the Wyvern up here in this Lotus area. He placed a sentry saying, okay, he placed a ward somewhere over here. They found the old ward. They didn't find the new ward. So that could be pretty massive if Yandex, try and make a move through this area, try and take a fight on Tormentor.
Let's see if it pays off here. Feels like their Tormentor to take right now. There's no way you're doing it if you're Yandex.
Right.
You do have Blink Black Hole available, and that is an X factor here on these objective fights. Rolling Thunder, also pretty good around like Roche Pit Tormentor.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to contest. Malady, he's going to work his way, trying to get through the gate. No one is setting up. No one. He's going to be caught here at the same time as the Jakiro. Bigger kill. Wow, that was a lot for it. They already had him controlled with the Rolling Thunder, but they dropped the Black Hole just to ensure.
It's 1,000 gold.
Eidolons will spot the heroes rushing through the gate.
You just do not want to let them get out of here.
Blink for Blink. 9 class trying to catch him off the shackle shot. Does manage to land it on DM, but a bit too far out initially, but the axe is still going to blink for it. Hit a Battle Hunger on CJ, slowing him down. Quickly reprieve there as Swashbuckle cleanses that one off.
Kind of surprised that PVISION chased through that gate instead of just like going through Tormentor with Bear or something.
Right, yeah.
You know, like Black Hole gets dropped for your Invoker. Okay, whatever. We'll do an objective. Maybe you can still do it here now anyway. Black Hole's a long cooldown, which could be an issue in this game, honestly. If you become more and more dependent on that spell to teamfight, along with Rolling Thunder, if your ults are down, what happens in the interim? Especially with the lineup that can do objectives pretty fast, push the waves out pretty quickly. Look at this axe just farming in your face. Already BKB done, what are you going to do to him? Absolutely nothing.
Not a damn thing. Tornado. Attempted, CJ blinking ahead of it, and he is so close to his Aghanim Scepter.
I'm just watching this Bear vacuum up the entire bottom half of this map.
He is so massive.
This is the issue. If you can't control this area, he outfarms everybody in the game.
5,500 up on the Phantom Lancer. He has 700 GPM right now. Soxa is going to be spotted by the Vessel. 9 class lands that on him, and will get a charge back.
Chop.
Another chop.
Some more armor. He's up to 13.5, by the way. This is a significant amount of bonus armor this early on.
And a Roshan that is free for the taking with no Black Hole, no Coddle, no way to fight.
And this is the issue. Yeah, maybe you have better late game. Maybe you have some clutch PL pick. You're not going to get there because this is classic PVISION. Control the waves, find the pickoff, translate it into an objective. They don't need the 5-on-5. Like, they're not even looking for the 5-on-5. They're looking for the one kill that leads them into a net worth advantage. This is how you scale in Dota. This is how you gain a net worth lead. And that net worth lead will translate to that classic, like, 35-minute high ground. Oh, they've done this time and time again.
Yeah.
This game, the Roche was done a little later, so maybe that timing gets delayed a little bit. We'll see how strong Satanic thinks he is. I mean, this is a Bear that is extremely farmed, and you always have Alacrity to throw on top of him. That is a lot of damage. And I always feel like the sooner you can pressure high ground against a Phantom Lancer, doesn't mean you have to commit for that push. But the sooner you force him to join fights wherever that happens, the happier you are.
Sure. Last thing you want to let him do is just be completely uncontested AFK farm to this like really tanky point where he's currently working towards Scotty.
So you take these tier 2s, and then all of a sudden, when you get that pick off, you can go high ground with it. That's what you're looking to achieve right now, because full Silver Edge done on the Panda as it's running across. This thing's just sprinting. It's like some death machine.
And it might just find some death. There's some heroes swirling out this side of the map. Malady just dropping macro pyres. They're throwing Eidolons down lane. Anything they can. But the hunt is on. PVISION will find pickoffs.
Goodbye. It's just full rat mode. You look at where these dire dots are on the minimap, it's all on the edge of the map. Someone's farming the top edge. Soxa's on the left. The Jakiro's on the bottom. Enigma's farming out the right. Like, nobody wants to go anywhere near the center here. You don't have the vision for it. You don't have heroes that can do it safely. Especially when Noticed is off the map. He is back on the hunt. Invis Rune Axe. Around this mid lane, scan lands.
Smoke is getting many opportunities here. Blink can't manage to get the call on DM. Don't have a way. Ooh, Sox actually pushing himself in. They actually have the Black Hole on no one. No one took so much damage with the shackle shot. Managed to stop it. Chira Jr. is still trying to finish off no one here. Rolls through. They've got to deal with the Bear. Watson was in trouble. CJ heard the call and it bumps the Bear once. Shackle shot to slow him down, but ultimately it's just the death of DM.
And no one lived.
No one lived and keeps that Aegis intact.
Almost dying to the pollen bag on top of some of the Enigma damage, but lives with 15 HP. Perfectly executed here. They fed him he got The Lotus HP as well, so some of that early Lotus saving paying off, and very timely Shackle.
Lotus Orb done for the Axe will help protect the Bear. Get rid of the Malefice, stop the Solar Bind, get these heroes out of these Ice Path Macropire situations easier. And look at them, just so fearless. They know they have nothing to worry about. Diving well past tier 2s, going in triangles.
Rolling Thunder, Black Hole on cooldown, that's a green light. Do whatever you want in this game.
Notice, is he going to find Cheer Jr.? There's the high ground ward, and Cheer Jr. is going to blink out. It's because that ward, that sentry that was placed earlier, didn't find the high ground ward placed by Malady earlier. That saved CJ's life.
Still another minute on this Aegis. Not a high ground Aegis, but gives you a lot of confidence to look for anything here. Trying to find another clutch pickoff.
That net worth lead is just growing and growing.
Oh, yeah.
PVISION will eventually be presented the opportunity to hit a high ground. It's like inevitable they will get a core pickoff. So far, it's been those support kills. Last time they got a core, it's pretty easy Roshan for them. Play here from DM, leading off the Malefice. Quick kill onto Collis, but no one. It's a really good tornado that leads to the death of DM. He's going to get burned out. Now, no one is still low, but he has this Aegis. He may die to this Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, Notice did manage to get the initiation on Zoxa. They cleaned up the Aegis. Is CJ going to get out, though? His Rolling Thunder is now gone. And with Notice slowing him down off the Battle Hunger, trying to get away from this Bear. Slowing him down a bit with the inhibitor, the Diffusal Plate, but eventually you're going to be entangled. And there's the core kill they were looking for. Leads off a godlike spree for Notice.
Fights are too chaotic. Especially if the PL can't stick in the middle of it. That's your chaos to throw back at them. But until Watson's ready to take an entire fight, the Bear is just going to slowly kill you. This Axe is going to find you.
And the Bear is also going to, when you win that fight, quickly kill buildings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he found the PL.
A big kill if they can get it. Slow down the Scotty Johnson. He jukes him.
He had the right target.
Makes the TP out. Whoa, he got the curse, though, to Collis with the backup plan. Stops Watson's TP away, and there's no out for him now. The Bear will hunt him down.
What a game from Notice. Absolutely showing up in this game 3.
Oh, and no one. A Force Staff forward, DM. So much damage, though. The Force Staff doesn't help him survive.
Just picking him apart.
Dies anyway.
Dissection here.
And PVISION tipping their old teammate in DM. A bit of a mistake there, and it's going to lead to more openings. Noah's call on Zoxa. Another kill.
Just 1 by 1. Again, you're never going to get this 5-on-5.
And the Bear's just into the tier 4. It's a team wipe.
They're going to team wipe them without any of them being near the other hero.
Cheer Jr.'s just going to die here as well. They've just bled out one hero after another, and all of a sudden the base is entirely open for the taking.
This game just looks over.
Satanic is going to take a mid lane of Barracks, go for top. There's still the tier 2 bottom, and there's probably not enough time to just go straight to tier 4.
It's so much damage, though. Like, losing Raxes at this 30-minute mark against this team when there's so much map pressure just compounds that issue. How are you ever going to get out on the map again? How are you going to play any of the lanes and not get picked off?
Yeah, Yandex better get real comfortable with their base. This is going to be their home for the future. They're just going to be locked inside here.
And this is how you punish some of these really hard carries that just can't come online fast enough to exert their own presence in the game. Like, you just start picking people off, the map collapses, they don't have a lot of places to farm. You get that one clutch find, and the game just breaks open. And you never get to hit your timing on this Phantom Lancer as he tries to work towards the Scotty.
And what carry is better for this, right? I mean,
I'll be very excited about that.
No doubt. Should be, because they are just one pick off, one fight away from closing out a series and going to the grand finals. They can chill out, wait for Aegis. Yandex will see whether desperation bites at them enough to go for a smoke out play into that Roshan, or if they're just gonna wager on a high ground hold.
I think you have to go. You do have your item timing. Like, you have Ags Pango, BKB Enigma, and the Scotty is done on Watson. So that's another reason you kind of have to go, because you're not going to get close to another round of items before that base push comes in. This is as good as it gets. You're going to need some big ultimates to land. You're going to have to try and bait a clump out from PVISION.
The initial smoke isn't going to find anything here. It will get them into a position to take back some of this mid lane and bottom lane, get wards on their triangle. But ultimately, time is kind of against them here as PVISION could just wait things out, wait for a better opportunity, some sort of pick.
The lanes are just going
in 3 minutes.
You have to deal with top because you lost barracks here. They're pinging Watson up here. They saw him throw the lance. Notice.
They see the real one running backwards. They get the call onto him. Here comes that Cataclysm. It's coming in hot.
He dodged it.
He does manage a doppelganger. What a manta dodge. Gets away from it all. Very dangerous. All of Yandex TPing back to bail out their carry. See if there's a punish available here. Tag notice with the macro pyre. No,
bear.
CJ is already gone as the bear is going to just kill them all, man. They can do nothing about this BKB bear.
He is chopping fools out here. All that time in the jungle has led to an insane item timing for Satanic here.
And the best part is Satanic, his hero, doesn't even need to be here.
Nope.
He's just been farming up the triangle the entire time. Very slowly, but it's getting the job done, getting the extra farm for them. It is racked up to an almost 30,000 net worth lead for PVISION. Yandex on their last legs here.
They will have to find something miraculous in the next team fight. And if the Enigma gets jumped, I think that goes out the window.
Yeah, the bear even hitting the high ground without the VKB. It's already taken the tier 3. Satanic keeping the pressure up on them, saying, are you going to deal with this bear? Are you going to kill it? The reward for killing the bear is not terribly high because he's just going to make the resummon. And the risk is, well, we saw people all set up behind that bear.
You just go wait for the Roshan. Put an Aegis on one of these guys. You send it up the hill.
With an amp damage. I mean, it's just going to be a disgusting amount of strength. Hey, want to go for another one with this?
Look for a pick off.
Yeah.
For some lane pressure.
Here comes that Silver Edge bear.
He sends it in bottom. He's looking on like the one camp they can farm. It's like, I know you're here. I'm going to take your camp anyway.
Oh, Malady just saw his life flash before his eyes. As if he was on that camp, he would have been the one to die that they had amp damage instead of the neutral creeps.
I mean, the disgusting part is if PVISION really want to slow play this, they can't. You have the Invis Bear, you have the Invoker with all of his rat action.
Yeah, just keep throwing things at buildings.
You could just throw these units up the bottom lane. You have the other two lanes. And what are they going to do, right? You can never do Roshan until you see them all in base, then you do Roshan.
Going to get an Ag Synth for the bear to have a true 6 slot.
And Roche is up.
And Yandex are not in a position to be able to contest.
No, they were never going to be in a position to contest this. You just have to play for the base defense. See how fast this bear chops it down. Pretty damn fast here. Gonna give it to no one again. Just make that team fight even.
Got the call on DM, the Cataclysm, and a Culling Blade to finish him off. Not even. That was made way too easy. Soxa being hunted down on the other side of the map. Now you can get an easy buyback at the very start of this Aegis. Bear's still trying to hunt down Soxa rather. Gets up to the high ground, gets a TP away. The bear is not going to be close enough to hit a roar. Range Spirits is almost dead just purely off Forge Spirits. In fact, is dead. Double Siege Wagon, Forge Spirits, Yandex.
Your hammer.
I mean, look at him. They're thinking, do I have the Rolling Thunder? Do I have to go in right now? The building's, it's going to die fast. They hit it with the Ice Bat. Now the Rolling Thunder comes in, trying to kill this bear. But they got to be careful of the counter initiation. Cold Embrace comes in. There's the call on 2. Hit both supports. A beautiful initiation. One's already dead. CJ jumps after no one. But reminder, he's got the Aegis. Soxa still alive. Notice trying to get out of this situation. Slowed down by the Scotty. Yeah, a black hole on a bear just trying to stop it. And the bear survives and kills DM anyway. Watson is doing work right now. He's managed to kill one. Got noticed down. The buyback going to be used. A power shot to hunt down Soxa. Watson on his second life, though. The glyph gets popped. The building's almost dead. Killed the bear one time. What about the second bear, though? It's going to be coming back soon. Notice on his second life. Managed to get the call on the CJ.
got the PL.
He's getting lower and lower. Managed to get the calling button. That's the chop. He's down. Another buyback. Going to be forced out. Meanwhile, you've got Watson trying to finish off these heroes, but there's too many lives. The mega creeps are going to be here. The cold embrace has bailed it out. And Watson, a final call to finish things off. Life one.
It's over.
Gone for it. GG is called. They don't even try for the buyback. It's PVISION going to the grand finals.
They are looking like the scariest team here. This is their toughest opponent yet.